will get started.
Ooh.
Let me randomize a submission. Let's just roll between the first three. Nothing too fancy. Random submission, nice and easy, nothing too scary for elites. Not to play loot.
I may not have loaded my guides. Yikes.
Well, I see them. You got your bag, and then
Oh,
you
there it is.
got some cards. I don't know if these are up to date.
These are data cards. Oh, there you go. So, against Kroot, you were saying the Head Taker, Disruptor,
Yeah, so
Master. Yeah, we can go
let,
over that.
let's actually, because I think an important part of Deathwatch is actually operative selection, so
Right.
let's actually talk it through instead of just taking a pre-made build.
True.
Is this bag lagging?
I returned everything to the bag.
Okay. Let's pull all the operatives out of the bag. I don't know why, but this bag is like not letting me in.
Let
Interesting.
me try now.
Let's just put all your operatives on the table, and then we can talk about each of them in the matchup and get the easily dismissed ones out of the way, and then focus on the ones who are important. Cool. Okay. Perfect. So generally, when trying to decide upon a team with Deathwatch, instead of I start by picking the like auto takes in a given matchup, right? And so that'll often come from looking at my opponent's profiles and deciding what's generally there's like an auto take versus a team, right? You're up against Kroot. My guaranteed auto take is your head taker. I think you never drop him in this matchup. His shooting is very good, and his melee is absolutely excellent into me. In addition, charging on Conceal will allow you to get kills without taking damage back, and you're playing on Vulgus, right? So you have a lot of mobility. Now, who would you... What are the operatives you think you just do not want to run here?
I feel like the gunner veteran probably.
Yeah, Gunner's overkill into everything I'm running, for sure.
Um, I think the bombard is probably not needed.
I would agree. I think any
Likely not
situation
the yeah.
you would run the Bombard, you'd be better off running the Horde Slayer in this matchup. His profile is superior.
Yeah.
I also think you should probably get rid of the Demolisher in this matchup. I think the Demolisher's simply not that. The Demolisher excels when he does very high damage, and he's either one-tapping models or he is punching up, right? Like being able to trade into other elites, being able to trade into things. The problem is he's not that good at actually getting like once he goes in, he will often die. In addition, his damage reduction is not that great into 3-4. So I would probably drop the Demolisher as well. I don't think there's really
Yeah.
this is the matchup for him. Um, so then we're left with sort of this selection, right, of operatives, and then we can sort of go over the ups and downs of each. Blade Master, his weapon is fantastic. He is one of your best operatives at getting double kills. If you get into me, you can actually get some really good phase sweeps into Kroot. And his pre-parry means he's actually maybe the most durable model on your team against my melee. So I would say Blade Master should be in your list. I think you should 100% put him in there, right?
Makes sense.
So, the other piece I would absolutely want is just the Watch Sergeant. I think this is a matchup the Watch Sergeant's really good. His shooting, this is a matchup where his shooting, one shot will kill you most of the time. And so the biggest downside of the Watch Sergeant is that he can't double shoot, right? But in this matchup, you don't need to double shoot to kill, but your shooting will often not double kill. Like if you shoot twice, you're not often getting 2 kills with that shooting, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So his shooting is, in this matchup, as good as anyone else's, and then you get your extra CP, you get your extra equipment, and your extra, and then he's just good in melee, good in shooting, very flexible, right? The Deathwatch Sergeant is, you don't take him when one of his tools doesn't work. But in this matchup, his melee is good, his shooting is great, and then he has good utility, right? So I would say this sort of forms your core in this matchup. These are the 3 operatives I would take most games. And then these are sort of the operatives you can flex between, although I probably would eliminate the Aegis at this stage, right? Kroot have pretty limited piercing, and most of their piercing guns are high volume attacks. If you look at like my gunners, the common usage is the Durjet Skinner, which is AP2, but it's also 5 attacks on 2s, 3-3, right? It's a profile that is giving yourself an extra save against it is probably saving 3 damage versus it, right? And that's a lot to commit for yourself. Of course, they also have their equipment that gives piercing 1, but this team definitely has ways around that. So they can give their shooting lethal 5. Aegis hates lethal 5 shooting, right? You really don't want to run him into many lethal 5 shooting teams. And then you look at his melee, and his melee is really neat, but the problem with his melee is he doesn't have any way to get crits. And Kroot most of Kroot's primary melee tools are crit fish models, right? Like if we look at the cut scheme, Ceaseless Lethal 5. If we look at where's the other melee model? The Stalker Balanced Rending, right? These are models that are going to roll multiple crits, and so if you run the Aegis, you're just praying that you roll crits. And if you're playing Deathwatch and you're praying on the dice to carry you, they will not, and you will lose your models, right?
Yep.
So I'm looking at this team that can get a lot of crits, team who doesn't have a ton of piercing, like because their piercing is so flexible, they will just not use their piercing against you, and so you're never taking value from them with that. So I would eliminate the Aegis, right? And then we sort of have these 3 models left. And when I'm looking at the Marksman, my number 1 concern with the Marksman is that if you go on guard, what does your opponent have that shoots you, right? And the problem is Kroot has 1 silent model, 2 silent models. They also have the bow, right? And when you have 2 silent models that can ignore obscuring with another, with the support of the bird, I believe it gives ignores obscuring. Let me confirm that real quick. Oh, it only gives decoy. Okay, but they do have they do have a sniper that has ignores obscuring. So that's definitely a warning to me. Is that like if I'm going to take my sniper, I have to understand that you're gonna if you take the sniper, I'm going to shoot you at least once with a long sight, probably, right? Probably twice over the course of the game, and that's something that I might be willing to do on a tighter map. But on a map like this, when you look at this map, the places you want to place your marksman are very central to get good sight lines, but in exchange, your opponent will just be able to shoot you in return, right? So marksman, I would probably not run the marksman on this map. I think there's maps where you would on a tighter Volcus map. Sorry, not a Volcus, like an ITD map with smaller rooms where you can sort of move him, keep him away from the sniper and the bow. I might run him, but just the amount of silent shooting plus the ignores obscuring just means I'm somewhat worried that if I take the marksman, he's just going to get shot without making his value back, right? The other big thing is Kroot has has the melee tools to charge you, fight you, and then if you guard them, not care that much. So I think the marksman's really neat, but cool. This is sort of what I would then end up with, right? Is the Horde Slayer, whose shooting is simply excellent into Groot, right? Anytime you point that gun and fire, you're getting a kill. And then the Disruptor, and the Disruptor gives you Omni Scramble, and we'll talk about Omni Scramble. It's incredibly powerful, and yeah. Any questions about that operative selection? Anything that like seems off there? Did I explain the thought process solidly?
No, it seems to make sense to me. I see your
Cool.
concerns about the marksman and
Yeah.
taking the disruptor instead. They're similar, like shooting profiles. I like the idea of the marksman kind of foregoing his shooting action to
Mhm.
like a guard.
Yeah, guard is
Um,
awesome. It's just the fear of versus teams that have multiple silent shooting threats. I
yeah,
find the value of the marksman drops precariously, right?
yeah,
Um,
because he'll just get shot while he's on guard, and
yeah, he's great versus something like elves, right? Where they don't really have. There's not many elves that have silent shooting, right? And so you're just able to bully them around with guard. But if you're not like if you're worried about going on guard, you will find yourself not choosing to go on guard and not getting the value out of your marksman, right?
against elves, would you bring the marksman and not the horde slayer, or just
Yeah.
switch the marksman for the disruptor?
No, this is my anti-elf comp, right?
Yeah,
This is what I run into every elf team, and it's very successful for me. Um, but yeah, so this is your team. You got a lot of chunk. You got some strong defensive models, particularly the Blade Master is very good against my melee, and then the Gravis has a lot of wounds versus my shooting. So this is sort of what you're looking at for a team. Go ahead and expand them. I'm going to quickly select go through my team. Not going to do anything fancy. We're just going to do
okay.
as generic of a team. Is the opponent you run typically on double Kroot Hound or single Kroot Hound?
I believe double, if I remember correctly.
Then we will run double Kroot Hound to match. We want.
What was the thing I do? I kind of put them on this thing, and
Oh, you put them here and you press extend KTUL. Where's Kroot's guy? I'm not 100% on which gunner is optimal, but I'm not going to spend too much time thinking about it. We're just going to in the end, they serve the same general role. It's just a slight optimization. So, it's one of the end of the world. We are gonna take this as a 2. Take a second just to get our things set up, and then we'll chat equipment real quick, and then we'll do a pre-game look over. Just trying to figure out like what the big threats are. Okay. So, what are your thoughts on equipment generally? I would just like to.
let's see. So against Kroot, I would probably take the. Let's see. Yeah, the cuffs for sure.
Cuffs for sure. I think there's you almost never drop them.
The servo thrall.
I agree. Servo thrall's great. It might you might drop the servo thrall depending on what the crit op is. Specifically, transmission is generally pretty low APL, so I'd put the servo thrall as like a maybe, right? I think it's a if you don't have something better to do, it's an excellent option.
Uh, Ammo reserve and digital weapons both seem like reasonable picks.
Yeah, digital weapons is interesting. It's doesn't really help a lot of your profiles, is the big thing about it, right? However, what it would do is it would let you one tap Kroot Hounds, right? Which does have meaningful value in this matchup, right? Especially if you see your opponent is on double Kroot Hound. I think if your opponent's on double Kroot Hound, I think digital weapons looks much more attractive because it lets your Blade Master and your Watch Sergeant both, with a single crit, kill a Kroot Hound. So I think it's a good option, honestly. I think it's situational, but digital. This is a situation where it gives you a really good breakpoint. And I think generally, if you're looking into enemies that have 7 wounds, like that 7 wound breakpoint, digital
Yeah.
weapons is not an auto take, but I would very, very heavily consider it into 7 wound operatives because you're very consistent with lethal 5. You're very consistently rolling that crit for 6 damage, and then you're consistently getting the digital for 7. So versus that 7 wound breakpoint, I think you take digital weapons. I think versus a lot of other breakpoints, there are better options. And then we're looking at ammunition reserve as a solid option. But are there any universal equipment that you're looking at and you think you should be taking here?
I would probably take smoke.
Yeah, I agree. I
Um,
think smokes are pretty broken. I think if you're dropping smokes, you're almost always making a mistake. There's a couple teams you might drop smokes, or you might run stuns instead. But I think when I'm looking at Deathwatch, my number one equipment is the Biospire Cuffs, and my number two equipment is the utility grenades. I think these two are my like. I will take these two in 90% of matchups.
yeah, it seems like, to be able to stage sometimes where you want to play some of your pieces, like to be able to just drop that smoke grenade and have that
Smokes,
extra.
yeah, smokes are one of the strongest tools in the entire game. They just really limit opponents' firepower. Stopping opponents' options is very powerful, and smokes help you do that, and so they're great. The other really nice thing about Deathwatch is that with 2 APL counteracts, you can often throw smoke and do whatever else you want. So if, let's say, you have a model who's like sitting on the home and you're kind of waiting to do an action with them, you could tap the point and then throw a smoke on your counteract, which is really, really nice from conceal. Boom. Yeah. Honestly, I think there's an argument for ammo cache, in that you just throw an ammo cache down in the midboard, something like this, right? And just say all shooting around here, I'm getting bonuses on. I don't think that's necessary. I think if you're more comfortable with having 2 special issue ammunitions, I think that's definitely equally strong. So I think if you wanted to take 4 faction here and smokes, you would not be in a bad position. You could do some movement, but versus Kroot specifically, they have bound, right? Which means they ignore the first 2 inches. So basically, any terrain you're placing will hurt your movement more than it hurts Kroot's. So I think it is correct versus Kroot to place as little equipment as possible on the table.
Yeah.
The other thought might be ladders, but really, you're not short on movement to get into the stronghold. So I don't think there's any other major ladder positions that are super important on this map. So I think you're pretty well off just taking this for your equipment. Cool. Um,
So as far as like staging up on the stronghold,
yep.
what I'd be looking at is likely the Horde Slayer, I'm assuming,
I would
or the
probably,
Head Taker.
I would actually probably be looking for Disruptor up here, because it gives them good sight lines to disrupt, and it lets them do something. the specific action of activate, shoot, dash down is very powerful, or reposition down, right? Like that's a super strong thing you can do because you can also do it in counteract with Deathwatch, right? You could shoot and then dash down in one activation, and that's really powerful, right? Like it. Anytime you're getting shots off without getting shot back, it means you have a threat that stops me putting anything on engage. So, I like probably looking at this map. I'm looking to stage probably Disruptor up here, right, as my primary um, threat. Maybe I'm also looking to stage the Head Taker up here. I think that's something I would look at. Um, but I don't know 100%. I think that's something I would like the Head Taker on this side of the table more so, I guess, than anything else, right? And then Horde Slayer, I actually think you want the ability to push your Horde Slayer up, right? Because the Horde Slayer is so bulky, you can sort of treat him like your tank, right? Like he's there to you put him behind the door, right? And then he threatens this move right here. So he moves up 4 and shoots whatever is on the point. Which is generally quite strong. Let me get rid of the ammo cache that we're not taking. Boom. And then for the rest of our operatives, I'm looking at a guy on this side of the table to defend my home point. That could be the Blade Master, or it could be the Sergeant. I think generally I would prefer it to be the Blade Master on this map. Just because the Sergeant has the ability to move, dash, shoot so deadly, I might want the Sergeant somewhere here. Like, the Sergeant on this map is like your best piece for assaulting the enemy point. Right? Or at least threatening to do that. You don't actually need to commit to doing that. So this is sort of what I'm looking at as a turn 1 plan, right? Is sort of Horde Slayer behind the door, so you have 3 models ready to fight for this point, a model defending your home point, who can be supported with a dash, shoot, and then your Watch Sergeant in position to stage for an attack, right? That's sort of like what you're looking to do, is sort of split the map into its lanes, and then assign your people to those lanes as best fits. Your models did not correctly expand, so let me just, there we go. Cool.
Give me 1 second. Sorry.
No. Take your time.
30 seconds.
Yeah, take your time. No worries.
Okay.
And then playing from the Kroot side for equipment, I'm going to just have a little bit of some defensive help over here with a one-sided barricade that I can fit through and you cannot. Just to assist in the defense of my home point. Make it a little bit harder for you to get in there. And then our second light barricade is going to come down over here and just try and slow down any mid-board action. How would we like this? With the goal, of course, being one-sided movement on both sides. If we can't get it, that's fine. We will simply limit the access there. So the goal of the equipment is to limit your movement as much as possible and slow you down, which is generally what a lot of Horde teams will end up doing, and several elites will also end up doing this, is like trying to just basically add 2 inches to the movement you have to make to get into them.
Right. Try to contain me.
Yeah. Boom. And then we can. Do you want to quickly chat about this matchup before we go into deployment? So, what are your thoughts going into this matchup as to like what are your big threats in your opponent's team?
So I think, firstly, the hounds are going to be the initial threat, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll need to keep an eye out for the tracker's bird, the
Yep.
Seek Light.
Soup light.
Um, and of course the two silent shots, the long sight and
Yep.
the bow. Um, and this heavy gunner here,
Yeah.
got to keep an eye out for 6-inch. Yeah, this could be this could be rough too.
Yeah. So I would sort of divide this team into four types of pieces, right? Looking at it, you have your chip damage threats, right? These, which are these four models right here. None of these models are really going to kill you by themselves. What they will do is they'll do some damage, might tie you up, slow you down, right? Boom. You have your board control threats, and the bow hunter kind of sits between these two. These guys are their goal is to limit where you can move uh, by controlling space. You have your utility pieces. These guys' goal is to remain generally pretty safe while providing utility for the rest of the team. And then you have your actual lethal piece models. Typically, this ends up being gunners, ends up being models who can move up and then shoot. I would not classify the sniper as one of those, despite him doing as much damage as many of these, because he's not projecting threat on you. If you know where the sniper is, you know how to play around him. Like you never have to give him a shot. So he's not really an aggressive piece, he's a board control piece, right? Um, but these are the main threats you want to take care of, right? So your goal coming into this matchup is looking at these pieces right here and saying, I would like to kill, let's say, two of them as quickly as possible. If you trade one of your models for two of these pieces, it is often worth it, right? Not always, it depends on the situation, but you're looking at these four models and saying, as Kroot, in order to kill your team, I probably need every one of these models to get a kill. And if I'm not tabling you. So every one of these models you kill is a significant drop off in damage output for my team. We're going to actually color these model spaces red. And, oh, you. I guess we're not going to do that then. So these are the four models. You need to be watching very closely as to how they position, right? Because each of these threaten kills on you. Oh. So let us begin deployment. And I'm going to begin with my kill broker over here. My 8 hound over here. Making sure we're deploying such that we have room for 4 guys behind here. Which you can do, you just have to be careful about it. Maybe you can't with this side thing. Oh, then we'll just look to deploy it. So, Kroot kill broker, and then a hound right here. That's my first 2. And then putting the long sight here, with the goal being just scamper up to a good sniper position to control as much of the board as possible. And then a trading piece, which will be a warrior here, right? Sweet. So now you're deploying 2 operatives.
Yep. So I think the obvious ones that we talked about would be the Horde Slayer up here to.
I agree. I think there's only really one position on this map the Horde Slayer is really going to excel, and that position is behind this door.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the most obvious placement on your team.
And then the WAP Sergeant to kind of and force the right side of the map.
Yeah, I might consider dropping this model a little bit later, particularly because there's no great cover for him. It's only light. But again, my Seek Light requires a turn of setup before I take the shot, and I don't have a ton of fast pieces who can get up here. Maybe the thing you have to be wary of is like a turn 1 shot into you. But a lot of the time that's actually a mistake, so I think you're probably fine deploying there. Yeah, so that looks pretty good.
Alternatively, I could go with the Disruptor.
Yeah, I think the Disruptor is probably better early, just in the sense that that gives me less information about what you're doing, right? I mean, clearly we talked about it, but as an opponent, you just want to deploy the models that your opponent's most likely to know. Again, it's very small optimizations. I think you could easily skip doing it, but I'm going to go ahead and take my Stalker. I'm going to place my Stalker here. So the Stalker is going to move up to this door and threaten his double fight charges from this door. Is sort of his goal. Boom. And then we'll be placing a nice trading piece over on this side of the table. I would like a damage piece for my home point, which will be this guy. And then one more piece is going to be a utility piece, the tracker, just looking for good sight lines. Go ahead.
Kind of liking the head taker here.
Okay, yeah.
And
yeah, I think especially looking at how I've set up, you see that I really only have one shooting threat that's not deployed right now, and it would be it would be pretty interesting if I were to put him over here, right? I think it's pretty much more limiting space to be here than it is to be here in the center, especially for gunners. So you can probably expect more melee on this side of the table than shooting. Meanwhile, for my home point, I have a shooting threat over here, right? So you probably want to not put your Blade Master in the path of my shooting threat, right? You always want your Blade Master fighting. You always want me to be fighting your Blade Master rather than shooting him, and you always want to, like your Blade Master is is super durable and very killy when he's forced to fight, but when your opponent gets to shoot him, he can feel much more fragile. But you see how I've deployed, and you see that most of my shooting is over here. So, my only options would be to deploy the heavy gunner here, which would very much limit me, or to deploy a melee threat over there. So I would feel very comfortable putting Blade Master here, right? Well, then I'm going to throw down the heavy gunner like this. Ideally, gonna play for the door more so, because the stronghold provides a lot of protection. I have a lot of models here, but I will place the bow hunter here. I'll place a cut skin over here. That's one of my more expendable. And we'll also have a Kroot hound over here. So I'm pretty spread out. You can sort of see with the red where my threats are focused, which is I got sort of a threat for this point, a threat for this point, and then multiple threats for this point for the midboard. Oh. And then you can go ahead and finish up your last deployment.
So with the Watch Sergeant at this point, I was considering setting him down over here, but I feel like is it possible that this head taker kind of has this right side of the board covered, and then the Watch Sergeant could kind of be more on this side?
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I think the head taker is probably pretty good on this side of the table as your aggressive model. He'll push around the Pistolier without really giving them fire back. He'll push around the Hound. push on the kill broker. I think it's pretty solid to flex the head taker onto this side and allow your watch sergeant to play more so middle. Um, I'm looking at this and I'm not super concerned about the amount of models coming for the home point. So I might try and deploy him more centrally, or I'm looking to probably stage him like here rather than here, if that makes sense. Keep him more towards the center than towards my home, but still able to support my home. So this is a good. I like this deployment, and then I would just be looking to turn one, be staged right
Dash.
here instead of staged right here, as like your two pretty safe deployments.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Awesome. So that looks pretty good, and we can go ahead and roll priority. Would you like a fun Deathwatch dice?
Sure.
Let's grab a. Let's give you a Deathwatch dice, and then a tau. It's important for reasons.
Okay, so how do I add this to? I add it into the
Yeah,
custom dice thing right here.
if you just put it right there, then all the dice you spawn will be custom.
Two.
4. Nice. So you love that? You very much so would rather have the initiative on turn 1. I will give you priority, and we can get started.
Okay.
So, in turn 1 play, you just kind of have to understand you're going to get out staged, which means you need to stage relatively conservatively, I would say. Your goal is to not allow me to get one-sided threats into you. So what that means is you just want to make sure you're positioned such that anytime I move any models I stage to hit you, you can try and hit them back. So the biggest person to be aware of with that is going to be the head taker on this side of the table. If you just stage him like behind this door, I can probably out threat range you with like some move dash shooting. Um, but any ploys you want to do? I don't think you have visibility for an Omni Scramble. Nope.
No, I don't think so.
No. Cool. I will be going ahead and using my leader's ability. Call the kill. Let me move my tokens up. And then we're going to go ahead and deploy on the model most likely to be positioned aggressively here, which is going to be your head taker better. So we'll have balanced versus that model. Boom. Perfect. Until the end of the turn point.
Makes sense.
So that is all for strategy points, so you're free to go ahead.
Okay, so first thing I'll do is probably just get this disruptor up here with a dash reposition.
Yeah. Definitely good to get your more stationary models up. Move them earlier.
Dash. Reposition to the window. And pass.
Perfect. Cool. Well, I'm just going to be what's called stalling. I'm just going to try and activate 6 models that give you as little information as possible. So that'll mean Stalker's going to come here and pass. Go ahead.
I'll just do what I know I have to do as well with this guy, is just move him to the door.
Yep.
Stage. Oops.
Oh, we did forget attack ops selection.
Oh, right. Well, I'm thinking dominate is the real
Yeah.
choice, only real choice
I
for me.
I don't think there's. I think every other choice is kind of fake. Um, you cannot play Plant Banner versus me, uh, and then it's you
Right.
just. I'm squishy enough. You're happy playing Dominate. I'm not really a non-interactive team that'll just that you need to play Sweep and Clear into. I think you're very comfortable just slamming Dominate here without much question.
Yeah. And I gotta select my primary op, which I actually think would probably be the crit op.
Um, yeah, I
What do
think
you think in this case?
I'm looking at this, and Kroot is generally pretty low damage. I'm looking and I'm feeling like I can score Dominate pretty easily into the Kroot. I'm looking at Tac Op. I don't. The problem with Crit Op is Kroot is able to sacrifice models to score Crit Op against you, which is
Oh, right.
generally a bad thing. But because they out-activate you by so much, they have the ability to force points effectively, right? Um, by just moving guys on, which will lead to you getting kills, but will lead to denying points. I think crit is fine, but will probably, if you're taking crit, you're looking to score 2 on your primary, right? So I think crit
Maybe the
tac
tac op then
are both
makes more
fine.
sense.
Yeah, I would go tac op here, but I don't think crit's a bad idea. I do think if you were on a crit op like loot, right, you definitely do not want to be playing crit op, right?
Hmm.
But on transmission, I think you're probably more okay with it because it's a crit op that scores at the end of the turn for controlling rather than when you do actions to control. But that looks good to me. And then, what do you think I'm playing as Groot?
Probably dominate, right?
I'm Infiltration Recon. I do not have Dominate as a tac
Oh,
op.
uh, I'm actually not sure.
Yeah, I will be playing. Uh, and this is probably the most commonly played tac op in the game. It's just retrieval, right? Um, Groot can steal retrieval out from underneath you, and is generally quite good at it. And it's good when you add activate to let your early guys do things. So I'll be on retrieval this game. Most Kroot I think will probably be on retrieval. Some of them might try and mix it up, but generally when given the option, players will play retrieval because it's the most in control.
I see. Okay.
Perfect. And then we can go ahead and resume. You've moved your Horde Slayer up.
Yes.
I will go ahead and activate my long sight. He's gonna move free, and then he's gonna climb and position himself nicely along here. So as expected, he's sort of surveilling this territory right here to keep you honest. Go ahead.
Right. Okay. So I think I can safely just stage this head taker here by a dash reposition. Thinking maybe up here
Okay.
because he'll be able to move around pretty efficiently.
So he's currently paying a 2-inch tax here. So he's threatening that charge, the charge up to here. Boom. If you were to stage here, what are you threatening your charge to? That's quickly. This is your threatened charge range. And if you're here, your threatened charge range is 1, 7. So that position isn't getting you any better of a charge range while being much less safe. So I agree with this decision to stage up here. I think the other option is you play the more aggressive route and stage directly behind the door. But that would put you in a more dangerous position generally. And I don't think that's really needed at this point. I think you're not feeling behind to make some risk plays. So I think staging up here is totally chill. It also gives you the option of flexing, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, can get down to the point.
mhm, cool. I'm going to
Yeah.
continue activating operatives that give you as little information as possible. Sorry, this operative got shuffled. Uh, we're just going to move a warrior up to the door and pass.
Mm, should be safe to move my Blade Master up here now.
Yeah, it will let me stage my cut skin into you, but you're the Blade Master. You are set up to actually pretty much bully my cut skin in melee, even on the charge. So
Hmm.
I think you are willing to move there with the knowledge that if I charge you, you're the Blade Master, and you will generally come out on top from those trades.
Uh, should be okay there.
No, I actually really love this positioning. Do you know why this positioning is so awesome? What is your thought
Uh,
behind this positioning?
well, my thought is you can't really open the door and shoot me. He's safe from getting shot from pretty much every situation here. If you want to confront me, it's more than likely going to be have to be a charge, and
Mhm.
I like to be in melee. Otherwise, I'm perfectly positioned upon the point to just be able to tap it next turn and do what I want to do with him, which is either push the give you pressure this side, maybe like get the charge in on your cut skin first, um,
Yeah,
and just generally threaten this side.
yeah, all of that's true. There's also one more super awesome thing that's specific to this exact position, which is that you are threatening reposition hatchway fight right now, which suddenly means any model staged within 2 inches of this door, you are threatening to just fight, right? Which is
Right.
forcing me to respect your turn one counteract fight. So suddenly, this area right here, right, um, right, is off limits for staging. And that's really premium staging area, right? Because that's area
Yeah.
that threatens him really effectively. And so I'm left with staging behind this little nook right here, or not staging at all on this side of the table, right? So you've probably limited me to only placing 2 models in position to attack your home point, which is pretty nice. So all without even needing to move up. You can, as a counteract, also just back up to here, right? Like you don't have to commit to anything. Now the worry is, of course, it might open you to a turn one shot, but I think any turn one shot would require a +1 APL investment for a not great shot that does damage that you are happy to heal. So I'm probably not going to, even if I had it, take the shot with a not great gunner.
It's an
So
easy clapback if you
exactly,
decide to do that.
exactly. If I commit to that play, I'm spending a lot of effort in order to give you the perfect target to just kill back, right? For probably not a lot of upside. So I think I'm pretty unlikely to, even if I could, take that play. Now, let's say this model was a heavy gunner, right? Instead, now this is a much more threatening model to you, where you have to be worried about me moving up, activate, shoot, and then winning initiative and shooting you again, right? But because it's a much weaker gunner, it's not really a gun model, it's a lot less of a threat. And then the other really nice thing you have going in is +1 APL, +1 initiative, reroll. So you're pretty likely to win initiative if you need to next turn, So any aggressive plays by me are probably not last activation, first activation in here. So, okay, so looking at that, I'm probably going to. I'm going to continue to try and give you very little information. My kill broker is simply going to shuffle and pass.
At this point, I'm probably still safe to just maybe stage my watch sergeant here.
Yeah, I would agree. And the worry, of course, is I'm threatening, like, move out, shoot you, with even with the heavy gunner. But again, nothing on my team really has the damage to one tap a Space Marine. Even my heavy gunner needs to roll perfectly in order to one tap you. Right? Needs to roll all hits and you don't make your one save. So if I commit my gunner here, I fully shoot you, do almost maximum damage, and you live on 2 wounds, then you just move your watch sergeant and we'll spend the next two to 3 turns healing before committing again. Right? So I will have sacrificed a gunner for non-lethal damage, which is almost never good enough. So this feels very good. It also is an interesting. I don't know if you ever actually take this, but you do have a charge here. Maybe you're a little bit off. Yeah, no, you're slightly off. But it is close. It's something I would be aware of. Cool. So you are now fully activated, and now the threat of your models is re-enabled. We are going to activate my pistol here. My pistol is going to go 2. And then 5. Ending up right here. We're going to go ahead and remeasure this charge range. Is 6. So we're going to be just slightly outside your control range there. Chilling safely on the point. Oh. Go ahead. Are there any
So I'll
counteracts?
get my first counteract. Yeah, maybe I'll just move this guy a little back.
Again, I think you want to hold off on this until your last counteract. Because remember, in this position, you're threatening to reposition, fight, and the minute you counteract, that threat is then gone. So, if I'm you, I want to hold off on that as long as possible. So, I don't think you really have a great counteract here, which is fine. You don't need. It's turn 1. You don't need super awesome counteracts.
Sure, then I'll just pass on the counteract. I'll burn the Horde Slayer.
You don't actually have to burn a model. You can just pass.
Oh, okay.
Sweet. My hound is going to just move slightly to be behind this piece of terrain. You just pass your counteract again. I'm going to move my bow hunter for being very aware about this threat here. Horde Slayer activates, moves. So we'll be right there. Boom. And then my heavy gunner is going to go stage behind the door. Boom. I still have not activated, which is a little scary, but we will go ahead and give my Bowmaster +1 APL here to make them into a more significant threat. Boom. And then my tracker is just going to move over here, staying relatively safe. Not trying to make any super aggressive plays. So, what all of this positioning has done is made it so that we generally have a pretty light turning point too, right? We don't have a ton of threats that are stationed to hit each other on this side of the table. So, winning prio isn't super important. And I will probably, I'm going to try and set up 2 threats on this side of the table. Maybe. It's actually totally possible. I simply cannot because of how your Blade Master is, but we will do our best to activate the Cut Skin. Skin will move 5. No 4. So Cut Skin's going to go. We're going to activate the Cold Blood. Cold Blood's going to go 1, and then up to here. Just ending on this point right there. So I'm threatening to move up, do a retrieval, and then maybe run away. Something along those lines. Not really looking to get a shot off on you or anything, but just chilling. Still passing your counteracts. And then Hound.
Yeah.
The problem is if the Hound moves up here, I'm giving you a double charge and double kill. So we will simply chill the Hound like this, and then move the Cut Skin here, where he is threatening to, if you charge me, I can go ahead and charge you back. Boom, boom. Wait, sorry. So after my Hound moves, did you want to do a counteract? Because actually, if you do counteract, I could change what I'm doing. Well, he should be. There's no way you're getting a shot on him, but if you wanted to move that direction, you can.
I'm just considering it because that could be a charge, fight, dash, and be safe from your.
Remember, you can't charge and dash in the same activation.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
However, you could threaten a move, shoot, dash.
Move, shoot, dash. Yeah, that's true.
But you kind of threaten that without doing this, right?
So I guess I'll pass the counteract again.
Okay. And then I'm going to move my Cut Skin over here and just threaten some action here. Cool. So pretty easy turning point 1. Nothing too fancy happened. You've gotten some nice staging here that can let you get some value. And then you've gotten just generally solidly set up to contest midpoint. Oh. So we can go ahead and roll priority for the next turn.
Okay.
Oh. 5 versus 5.
So
You had priority last time, so I would win and get to decide here.
Unless I use my +1.
Yeah, so you could use your +1 here. But the really nice thing is that you probably want to lose this because it will give you the +2, which means you can almost guarantee winning next turning point. And that opens up some very interesting options for you. So I would probably just accept that you're down 1 here and take the +2.
Okay, I'll do that.
Do you see why you're doing that?
Yeah, because I don't necessarily need to, charge you first. All of my guys are pretty safe from your taking initiative this turn, and then just guaranteeing that I'll get to act first next turn after staging from this turn will be like a much higher
absolutely
turnout.
Cool. So we can go ahead and I will let you go first and take 2 CP.
Okay.
And give you 1.
So at this point, I start considering whether it's worth taking the shield that slays.
So
it seems, yeah.
When you're looking at Shield that Slays, most important thing is what does it actually reduce? And when you're looking at my team, the answer is effectively nothing, right? Because all of my models have normal damage hits that do 3 damage, right? I think only my leader has a 4 damage normal hit on his melee. Well, yeah, there's very little high damage normals. So, if I were you, I would probably just pretend the Shield that Slays does not exist this game. Right, I'd move it to the 4th position and sort of treat this like a ploy that's not real, right? It just will not really do anything for you this game because you've looked at my damage numbers and you see I don't have normal damage of 4 or more. I have 1 source on my entire team. So,
Right. Okay.
Don't got to worry about that.
then I don't think I really need to use anything. Just looking at the ploys, I don't see anything that's super useful at this moment.
Yeah, so I think there's actually an argument for Long Vigil here. Um, Kind of depends whether or not how you plan to play this Blade Master. If you plan to activate this Blade Master early and start exchanging with me, it might be worth, depending on how you're planning. If you're planning to move here, shoot me and then move back, which is probably a pretty good play, although one that does carry some risk. It is something you want to, if you can make your move, shoot, and dash back into the territory, I'm probably not fighting you, as you can see. Like, my Cutskin's not making it, right? So any counterpunch I would have into you is probably shooting. And so just throwing up a Long Vigil will probably prevent at least 3 damage on your Blade Master, and then you're also going to probably attempt to play midboard with someone, probably your Horde Slayer. And when you look at the major threats for midboard right now, you have a shooting threat, you have a shooting threat, you have a melee threat, and then you have a melee threat with more limited range, who's probably not able to make it to a correctly positioned Horde Slayer. So I'm looking at all that, and I'm saying I actually think you're probably pretty well off taking the Long Vigil in this position.
See, okay, yeah, because we won't be pushing past our territory, so why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
You're not going to be pushing past your territory, and you're not expecting to roll a whole lot of what do you call them? Fail. You're not expecting to do a whole lot of melee. You're expecting most of my damage in you to be shooting this turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweet. So now I'm left to pick a ploy. Remember, I believe you did. You made it your free ploy with your sergeant, right? Yeah.
Oh yes, yes.
You should be at 4 CP because you went first this turn, so you should be at 3 plus 1 before.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're nicely chilling. And you always just want to make your first strategy play every game from your sergeant, because if they die, you lose it if you don't spend it. So
Yeah, might as well.
I'm going to play Cutthroats to give myself +1 attack and melee.
And I don't think I have any other strat plays to play.
Awesome. So I will pass it over to you to begin.
Cool.
I want to, or do you not? You have one more thing to do in the strat phase before you pass.
Oh, the disruptor, right? To see if I
Yes.
have the
You should
free.
always throw out an Omni Scramble at someone, right? In this scenario, I'd probably try an Omni Scramble either the Bow Hunter. The really spicy Omni Scramble is actually this Cutskin. If you can see him, which I believe you can. Yeah, you can. Which would actually, if you roll a high Omni Scramble on this Cutskin, you get to make some very interesting plays. The more typical is just the Bow Hunter, keep the threat out. But really, you expect this Bow Hunter to just wait until last activation, probably, or activate until you're fully expended. So Omni Scrambling them doesn't really do a whole lot, right? And I don't really have a ton of threats on you. So I would be attempting the Omni Scramble on the Cutskin, and what you're doing there is you're just attempting to fish for either a 5 or a 6, right? Because if you Omni Scramble me for 5 activations, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 doesn't matter, right? This won't really do a whole lot. But if you Omni Scramble me for 5, what that opens you to doing is it means you will get to counteract with your Blade Master before I get to activate my Cutskin, which opens a lot of options for you. So, with the Omni Scramble, it's sometimes good to just throw it at models who, if you roll a 5 or a 6, it gives you a ton of value. So in this case, that's what I would do. I would just throw a big Omni off attempt to Cutskin. You also have some smaller value ones, but...
Are you considered visible to me from here, since you're concealed and...
Yeah. Visibility just means you draw a line from your head to any part of my base, or to any part of my model. It's not viable target, it's just visible. So it's anyone you can see.
I see. Okay. So then I think I'm gonna go with your advice of omni scrambling this guy.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, roll the d6.
Okay.
2.
No, that's a 4.
Oh, sorry. For some reason I thought it was d3. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is not a D3, it is a D6 because Deathwatch are fun like
D6.
that. So, go ahead and grab your Omni Scramble. Oh, and use Omni Scramble for 4 activations. Boom. Okay, so it's not what you're looking to do, but again, you didn't have a super high value Omni Scramble here, so you were just looking to, if you rolled high here, it gives you some interesting value. But because you didn't, you don't play around this model being Omni Scrambled really. Cool.
Okay.
That is all for the strategy phase. So you can go ahead and begin.
Um, I could just get straight to tapping. No, maybe I wouldn't tap, huh? Maybe I'd have to. Well, can I tap and then just reposition shoot relatively safely here? Because I know that the cut skin is not going to really be able to retaliate that reliably,
Yeah, I
which
mean,
leaves the hound, maybe.
and you know that both of these are primarily melee threats, right?
Right.
So when you look at melee threats, you got your Blade Master, especially not super strong melee threats. Like versus some melee Space Marines, it's a bit more of a concern. But versus models like the Cutskin, like he will hit you for some damage, and he might. But you're playing the Blade Master, baby. Blade Master will do his spin and will often take very little from an attack like that, right? So you're pretty comfortable, I think, if you move your Blade Master, you kill my Cold Blood. Like if if you position such that you're just cleaning up this whole side of the table, you're feeling awesome, right?
So yeah, we'll reposition here and take some shots at your cold blood.
Cool.
So 4 attacks, hitting on threes, 3, 4. Probably maybe worth using the ammunition just to.
Did you tap the point before you moved?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay. Boom. Just remember, you do have to be standing on the point at the end of your. It's active, but you do still need to control it. So if you
Oh,
can you position yourself where you're on the point and also within 2? It looks like it.
yes.
If so, that's sort of where you want to be. Now, the worry here is that if you do this and you don't kill, you've kind of expended your big operative on this side of the table, which means you're not. What I would actually do here is I would not tap the point. I would instead move and be ready to shoot, and then you're just thinking, I'll counteract tap the point if needed, right?
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
there's
let's
no
do it that way.
there's no rush in tapping this point. So you can go ahead and move and take a shot. 4 attacks on threes.
Is it worth using the special ammunition here?
Well, the nice thing
Maybe.
is, if you take your first shot and you do 0 damage, then you can go ahead and use your special issue ammunition on the second shot. But if you take your first shot and kill me, then you're like, oh, I don't need to use my special issue ammunition on this. So,
Fair enough. Yeah, makes sense.
well, yeah. Like
Oh,
sometimes
wow.
your first shot, you just roll that. And then we'll see what I roll.
Good.
Boom. That's no saves. So you just smack the cold blood, shoot him to death. Bam.
That works. Get a dominate token, so reveal dominate at this point.
You would reveal dominate at this point. Well,
Um, and now I'll just dash. Oops, to there. And That's my turn.
Cool. You did make a mistake with this dash. Do you know what it is?
Oh, am I in the range of the door, which I shouldn't be?
You are in range of the window right now, and you aren't engaged, so models could spot you
Oh,
through the window. So
I
you
see.
you just need to make sure you're not visible to models. So I would actually move a little bit this way, right? Is if you end your move like this, as close to the window as possible without actually letting me shoot through it, then in order to shoot you, I have to move up here and then take a shot into you. Um,
Oh, is it because I'm not in range? I'm not in control range of the window, therefore I'm not visible to you from outside the window?
Correct. If you are not within control range of a window, I can't see through the window unless I'm within an inch of the window.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Yes. So now, I'm looking at this position, and kind of have two options here, which is stall, just keep activating models until you're fully expended everyone, or I could do some, like move someone up and tap the point. Now, if I were to move someone up and tap the point, what is your response? Let's say
Um,
this guy comes up here and he does retrieval on this point.
I feel like I'd just conceal charge him with the head taker.
Okay. So you would conceal charge. Would you fight him?
Yeah.
Okay. So concealed charging with the head taker is a reasonable play, but at the end of that play, you're in. I have my bow hunter set up right here to come punish you, right? Now, what I think is if I make this play, I think if I make this play, you as the Deathwatch player go, ah, good game, I win, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to activate your Deathwatch Sergeant, and you are going to charge me like this. Boom. That's 8 inches. And then you're just going to pass, right? Making sure you're standing on the point as best as possible. And then in this position, I can hit you with my melee threats, but I can't shoot you with my shooting threats. And then if I commit melee threats into you, on your counteract, you can kill my melee threats. So if I make this play and you respond by charging me with the Watch Sergeant, suddenly you have a model staged super aggressively, such that next turn you're threatening to kill my warrior, charge, kill this guy, shoot this guy, do something like that, right? Like you're threatening some really crazy, scary plays with the Watch Sergeant, while being able to. Generally, I don't really have the melee pressure here to get you off, right? Like if you look at it, you look at my melee tools and you see I only really have one melee guy here to defend this, right? So you are able to just sit in the hug. This is what we call hugging, right? It's where you charge in melee and then you pass. And what it does is it means you're perfectly safe from all shooting. There's just no shooting that can harm you. Right? So that you see the idea there?
What if they just decide to oh, they wouldn't be able to because they're expended. They wouldn't be able to fall back that whole turn.
They wouldn't be able to fall back this whole turn. And then you know what you can do next turn in this position?
Just fight, charge, fight
Yeah.
something else.
What happens if they win initiative though? And they're threatening to like fall back shoot you?
Hmm. Well, I have the disruptor
Yeah.
in strat phase to where I can just disrupt that person, the omni scramble them.
Exactly. You could just omni scramble them and totally stop them falling back. So if your opponent makes this play and lets you charge an expended model that is in omni scramble range, you without having the melee to punch you off, you're looking at this and you're going, well, I guess I win, right? So with that single play, you would have won the game. Not 100%, but like, as the Kroot player, there's very little I could do about this. You would just be able to murder me and then just keep pushing inwards and get something like a triple kill, right? I would expect that if this play happened, your chances of winning the game are probably somewhere around 90 to 100%, 90 between 90 and 100%, right? there's very little I could do to counter it. Okay, so we talked that playthrough. I'm not gonna move up and give you that, but it's important that you see if I did that, what you could do to punish it. Right?
Sure. Okay.
Cool. Instead, we are just going to play more passive. We're going to go ahead over here and activate the Kill Broker and just pass with them.
Okay. Um, I see no reason to kind of move my disruptor at all.
Mhm.
I think I can just pass with him.
I agree. I think that's the correct decision. When you're looking at operatives who you can stall the most effectively with, the Disruptor is definitely the one you're happiest to stall with, because he has no significant job this turn. I'm going to shuffle my Hound slightly to be right here, and I'm going to pass.
Mm, Now, is there any world where I can get a reposition dash with this Horde Slayer and shoot this bow hunter out in the open?
It's a good thing to measure, but I would be I did measure it out so you would not be able to because of this terrain feature right here. It's stopping you from making that play, right? Because you'd have to climb 2 inches and pass through this. So that's a whole 3 inches. So your maximum movement would be here, right? And this does not break my cover line.
I see. Okay. Then, since that's not happening, I think it's worth to just activate him and pass.
Okay. Yeah, this is very much the KG style, right? You're
Mhm.
what you're doing here is you're saying I'm not going to push for a lead this turn. Instead, you're going to let me walk up and then do your best to like omni scramble whatever model I put up and charge them to kill them, right? So by making this play, you're very much so committing yourself to a more defensive game. Sometimes that's not a good thing, but looking at this position, you have a dominate token on your Blade Master, and I'm not really threatening your home point. So you're actually feeling pretty comfortable with playing this game somewhat slow, right? So I think just passing here is totally fine. I think the other option is if it's a game where you feel the need to make action happen, you can just move your Horde Slayer out and accept that I'm going to get some charges into you. Let's say you took this Horde Slayer and you moved him out, right? Boom. Then you're just sort of saying like, I'm gonna get the charge into you, but if I don't kill you, then you know what position we're back in? We're back in a position where you omni scramble me and suddenly I'm stuck. Right? So the position we discussed of moving up and passing, and then you getting an operative staged super aggressively, you can kind of do it in reverse almost, with specifically the Horde Slayer, because they're so durable, versus like lighter melee. You can kind of just tank their melee and say, hey, you might do 10, 12 damage to me. That's okay, I'm willing to accept that, in order to get a position where I'm threatening a fallback over shoot your important models. Right? Again, I don't think that's necessary this game. I think you're correct in your Blade Master. Because your Blade Master has gotten value, you're sitting pretty comfy this game. I don't think you need to make the more aggressive play here. So I think just passing is totally correct. I would actually slightly fiddle this model. You just have them positioned where they can't dash through the door, and you can go ahead and just fix that now when you activate them. So just a small
Okay,
improvement.
so he can actually dash through that door.
He can if you position him correctly. Yeah, you just had him positioned where he couldn't. But if you do it correct, his base should be able to fit through doors on
Okay, so
dashes.
40 millimeter base should be able to fit through a door on a dash if he's standing right in front of it.
Correct. If you
Okay.
are touching the door, you should be able to slide through.
Oh, just touching the door at any point or just in the middle of the door? Does that matter?
I am not sure. You'd have to actually measure it, but you definitely can dash through the doors. So it's important to have that aware. You can't counteract through them, but you can dash through them.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So I'm looking at this position. You've sort of given up your threat on this midpoint, so I'm pretty happy to just pass my way through my turn. I'm going to go ahead and activate the long sight and pass. This does give up my threat of shooting here, but again, I don't think you're really going to commit to the midpoint this turn. You've kind of set yourself on a journey where you're looking to commit next turn. So
Should probably just pass with the Watch Sergeant too.
I agree. I think that sounds just perfect.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And with your staging right now, I'm not really threatening any of your models significantly, right? So you're very happy with most of this positioning. Now, what I am threatening to do is activate my warrior, move up and shoot you, but that's going to be a last activation thing. So instead, I'm going to activate my hound and pass. Actually, the hound's going to move to be right here. Boom.
No real threat range with the head taker, it seems. I could try to position very aggressively with him, but you still have this guy to activate the Pistolier. You could just kind of catch me out. I could position down here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that really does anything for the upcoming turn. So I think I'm thinking I just activate him there and pass.
Yeah. I I think there's a if you can look at this Pistolier's threat range, you might be able to stage where I can't shoot you this turn. And if I can't shoot you this turn, you're pretty happy staging aggressively. Like if
You mean like up here?
I would be thinking more this door, right? I'm looking at this door. Boom. Could my Pistolier get within range to shoot you? Should be 1 over. Measuring in 3D. No, I'm not. This would be 4. That would be 5. I can't see you there is the problem, right? So I would be looking for that right here. I think if you rotated correctly, you could deny me visibility there. And you could set yourself up. Maybe not. But even this position, honestly, might be something you are open to taking. Um, so
That could counteract fight you too, right?
you could counteract charge fight me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I might consider just staging here in order to apply threat onto this home point and force me to play defensively around it.
Not bad. I like that kind of.
Yeah. It means I could get some shooting into you, but in the end, I don't have a ton of threats positioned correctly to hit this model, right? Like my bow hunters not making it there. This is their 9. There's no way they have visibility of you. So by making this play, this is sort of the idea of using your health as a resource that Deathwatch really excels at, right? Where you're saying, I have the ability to hit you, but my singular hit probably doesn't kill you. And if I don't kill you, you get to counteract immediately and go charge fight me. So
And I have long vigil active, so that's an
yeah,
extra layer of
exactly.
defense.
So you're nicely set up to defend here. Long vigil has got some nice value. This model also should have been just slightly back to give you long vigil, just so you know. Just a
Oh, okay,
consideration.
yeah. That's
And
what we
you're
want to
welcome
do.
to slide them back here. Just because you have a
Yeah,
ploy that gives you bonuses, so might as well make sure you're taking advantage of them.
for sure, for sure.
So, cool.
All right,
And now
back
you've
to
left
you.
me with a very difficult decision of how do I deal with a head taker positioned like this. Um, so we are optionally shooting you with the Pistolier, getting some good damage, with the goal being that then my Hound could come finish you off. That does seem like the best play here. I do think I'm going to take this shot into you. So we're going to go ahead and move 1, move 2, and then move up here. On engage. Oh, can I even see you there? Actually, I thought I could, but it actually... There's a possibility I cannot even see you here to take this shot.
Oh yeah, that looks pretty tough.
Yeah, let me swap to the other first person one. Yeah, I don't think I have that shot. Which means that staging just means I'm not shooting you at all, which is even better. Um, and you'll notice a lot of the reason this is good is because in my stalling, I activated this hound, right? So suddenly my pressure on you on this side is reduced and you can push in, right? In the end, horde teams will try and out-activate you and stall you down by taking pointless activations one after another. But if they take too many stalls on a side of the table, you can kind of push into that side and they won't have enough to really punish you. As you see here, even if I took this shot, it's not really enough to make it worthwhile, right? You would be able
Yeah.
to counteract and kill me without losing too much, and it would mean you're staged very aggressively. So you can see how by activating a model, you can then immediately pressure that side of the table pretty hard. And I'm freaking terrified of this Blade Master right now. I will just be shuffling my Cutskin over and passing. There's not really a ton I can do against him with my Cutskin. Actually, even more than that. I think my Cutskin's just going to attempt to redeploy. So he's going to go all the way here. He's not really, doesn't look great. And then he'll dash to be behind this piece of terrain. Boom.
Makes sense. You don't seem to have very many more like threatening activations. In terms of my counteracts,
Yeah, well,
I think
by playing super passive, you've sort of denied me a lot of my threatening activations.
Mhm. Um, I wonder if it's worth counteracting the watch sergeant here up to stage a little closer. Um, because the only things that, well, yeah, the bow hunter wouldn't even be able to shoot him because that sight line's covered.
It's the heavy gunner that's the real big threat here, right? Because you can
The
make
heavy gunner could.
2, 3, 4, 5, and then shoot at this side. Boom.
Is that a kill threat though? Because then you just have a heavy gunner sitting out there that just
Yeah,
gets clapped back pretty
and there is
easily.
something else you could do there to make it even better for you.
Hmm. Oh, throw smoke.
Yeah. Now, if let's walk through this play, right? Let's just you dash out, forwards, and smoke yourself, right? What you're doing here is you're putting a model who's threatening to make plays, but you're kind of forcing the Omni Scramble on the long sight, right? Because otherwise I get my free sniper shot into you, right?
Mhm.
So this is a play that I probably wouldn't take here. Because really what you want this Watch Sergeant doing is saying that if I come up to this point right here, you're going to Omni Scramble me and then charge me with your Watch Sergeant, right? Like, you want your Watch Sergeant threatening the midboard. Although, I guess because you have +3 on the thing, you can make this play. You could totally do that. Yeah, actually. No, that makes it
That's what I
much
was
better.
thinking.
Yeah,
Because the watch sergeant can then immediately activate
yeah.
and has a threatening charge range and
No, absolutely. I think that definitely makes that play quite good. So I like that. Yeah, I think you should
yeah.
do it.
Okay. Sweet. There you go.
And you can see how that comes from recognizing that by activating my long sight, I no longer have this threat, right? So
Right.
yes, they can out-activate you, but every activation is costing me some sort of pressure on the table, right? And then you can push into those areas where the pressure is no longer. Give me a second. I just have to check the time real quick. It is
You're good.
Let me. My sister is getting out of something real quick, and I might have to
Take your
call
time.
a 10-minute break to help her.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah, and I also do not know if I'm going to be able to finish a whole game tonight. But we will at least continue, and then we can pick it up another day, or we'll see.
Absolutely.
Awesome. It is my activation, no? Yeah, because you just counteract it, move your sergeant forwards. Don't forget to throw smoke.
Oh, and throw smoke, right.
So, yeah. And this is a play I probably wouldn't make without smokes, but because you have the smokes, like, if you don't have a smoke here, you can't make this play, because I'll just shoot you. But as it is now, if I shoot you with my big heavy gunner, my gunner's standing out in the open and has done no damage to you. So, you're pretty happy with that, right? Okay. So, I do think it is... Ooh, okay. Yeah, so I don't even have this charge of my stalker, do I? I need to check how the stalker works. How much recharge with the stalker do don't exceed his move stat? You don't add 2. Yeah. So he's not doing anything there. Okay, let us just... Okay, just be aware, I could break your cover, your smoke with my bow right now, because he could move, dash, shoot.
Okay. That should be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Should still be okay.
Okay. Yeah, as long as you know that, then that's cool. So you're basically fully expended at this point. I'm going to go ahead and activate my stalker. My stalker is going to move up onto the point and activate it. So it'll start humming its way. Your counteract.
I don't think I have a counteract at this point.
Okay.
So I'll pass.
Gonna just... I could use meat on this to go 3 extra. To move, dash, shoot, and break your cover line. Okay. So that's interesting. What you've done here is you've kind of placed yourself in a position where you have a super clear threat that kind of needs to be activated. And so what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to saturate your threat control, which means I'm looking to make it so that you have 2 guys you want to activate, or 3 guys you want to activate. So even with you going first, I'll still have some value into you. So in that case, I'm going to activate my Pistolier, and I'm going to use my once per game equipment, the trophy, to give them +1 APL. And then they are going to reposition 3, and then they're going to dash. Oh, sorry, they're going to dash 3 and then reposition 6.
Yeah.
Be right here, and they're going to shoot you in the back. Boom.
Cool.
And I will use my toxin. Right now, can I use this? Yeah, we'll use piercing shot to give this gun piercing 1. So 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 3, 4, ceaseless, lethal 5. Boom, and then ceaseless. So that's 3 hits and a crit with piercing 1. So you're rolling 1 less dice there.
And I get re-rolls from the long vigil, right?
Yep, you get a free reroll from the long vigil. Nice. So you will take 4 plus 3 damage, which will be 7 damage into you.
Not nothing.
Not nothing, definitely. But,
But now I can counteract shoot.
yes, now you're in a position where there's more threats exposed on the table.
So probably want to just shoot with the head taker, right, onto the pistolier. Sorry?
Hello? How are you doing? Okay, sorry about that. I should be back. Can you hear me all right? Okay, sorry about that. I should be back. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome.
I think the pistol on the pistolier is 3-5, not 3-4, right?
Yes, I believe it did get buffed. So you should take 1 more damage.
Yeah.
Blemish.
Okay. So the danger is if I try to counteract shoot you, you have some kind of ability on your pistolier, right, where you get to shoot me if you get
Yeah.
shot.
The Pistolier has once per turning point when an enemy operative is performing the shoot action and this operative is selected as the valid target. If this operative is ready, so it doesn't matter because they're not ready, right? So that's not the reason you can't take this shot, right? There's a different reason you can't take this shot. Do you know what it is?
Hmm. Oh, you're bow hunter.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, because if you flip to engage, I suddenly am allowed to shoot you. Boom.
Probably just safer then to stay concealed and then just move further back to kind of get out of the threat range of your bow hunter. Then to protect this guy.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting another call. I apologize.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, sorry about that. Cool. I would simply wait on this activation because let's say I activate my bow hunter, suddenly this is once again a live threat. So I would just try and wait it out, right? Because unless my bow hunter is my last activation, you'll get something out of this.
Okay. Then I'll just pass.
Yeah, makes sense. And you still have tons of counteracts, so
Yeah.
no worry there. I also am interested to know if you could take the shot with your disruptor.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. If I could move him up, it's possible that he could see him. Maybe? I'm not sure. It's kind of tough.
The 2-inch dash to be right here. That doesn't look like you have visibility.
No.
The 2-inch dash here. Yeah, it looks like he's got a tight enough line that your disruptor's not super scary. So then the other option would be kind of Horde Slayer, actually. Slide back and take a shot.
I checked that earlier,
No.
but no, he doesn't clear the wall.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe that's a sign your disruptor might want to be a little bit this way next game. But also, that would mean you have less angles. It's just something to think about, right? It's good to review that and be like, hey, if my disruptor was here instead, I'm threatening a counteract shoot this way. But, cool. But you don't have to worry about that. Now, I will also mention there is a way you can do this without the bow hunter shooting you, which is, or what you could do is you could flip to conceal, shoot, and throw smoke on yourself. Use both smokes this turn to get some really aggressive play. But again, no reason to rush that. You still have plenty of time. I am going to activate my Dirigibite Skinner, and they're going to go ahead and move just to the door. It is now your counteract.
I'll continue to wait.
I have 3 activations left, so if you
Yeah.
have 3, cool. Now
I have
I will go
1,
ahead.
2, 3. I have 3 counteracts. Actually, no, I have 4 counteracts available. So I probably should at least do a counteract at this point. Maybe it's safe to counteract with a Blade Master now, since you're all done with anything you can do at this point.
I'm not all done. I do have a warrior here who
Oh,
could shoot you
with a
right now.
warrior. That's
But the warrior is not
true.
extended. The warrior is not extended. Only the heavy gunners. So, I would try and keep this threat as long as possible. Because
Yeah, you're right.
what your goal here is that I have 2 things I can do last activation. I can either move here and take this shot, or I can move here and take this shot, right? But the minute I use one of them, you get to do your action on the other side of the table, right? So, like if I activate this warrior, then you get to pass with your blade. You get to be chill with your blade master. Whereas if I activate the bow hunter, you get to be aggressive with your head taker. So I kind of have 2 plays I want to make last activation, and by not counteracting with either of them, you're forcing me to pick one of them, and then you'll get to do something with the other one.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. So I
So,
think I think I just hold off and burn the Horde Slayers here because I'm not going to do anything with him.
okay. Again, you don't actually have to burn a counteract. You can just say
Right.
I'm not counteracting.
That's
To
true. That's true.
the horde, it doesn't matter in this case because the Horde Slayer is not doing anything. But good to know. So Tracker is going to activate and give my tracker is going to climb up and then give this stalker a +1 AP on.
Okay. Um, so tracker's activated. So now you have 2 activations left.
Yes.
Um, I think it's probably safe to now counteract with this head taker and do.
I would wait one more. I would.
Oh, one more.
Well, I guess. Yeah. So the problem is if you wait one more, then this Blade Master is not tapping the point some of the time. So what you might want to do here is just tuck the Blade Master slightly, make this shot a little bit harder, and then just tap the point. Right? You actually probably don't even move that way. You probably just tap the point. I would definitely make this your last activation though, because
Okay.
this is the piece that's exposing itself to more threat. Right?
Cool. So then we'll just tap here.
Cool. Boom. Go for that. And then I'm going to go ahead and activate my warrior. My warrior's going to move 2. My warrior's going to move 3. Be within an inch of the window. If I move that better. That's 3. And then 3 here. And I'll take a shot into your Blade Master.
Okay.
I'm going to make that lethal 5 and what do you call it? I forgot to call the kill. Oh, that's great. You can tell I play a lot of Kroot. Okay, well, 4
You can do
attacks.
it. It's fine.
Yeah, it would have been on the Blade Master, but it's also very late for that, so I'm happy to pass over. Again, it's not super important. It would be a balanced here, so we'll see if it would matter. I'll go ahead and give it lethal here. Boom. Ooh, that's big money. So
Ooh.
3 crits.
Okay. 3 saves.
Yep. Cool.
Reroll.
Yep.
1. No.
So
Jeez.
I might consider spending a CP for another reroll here, just to
Yeah.
save 3. It's like, are you willing to spend a CP to save an average of 2 damage on your Blade Master? Is sort of the question.
Probably.
And yeah, I would tend to think the answer is yes, because it keeps you above good breakpoints. So I would just throw CP at it. You got CP to spend. You're not too worried about it.
That
Nice.
makes.
Also, actually, it is correct for you to, rather than spend the CP on a CP reroll here, instead spend it on Transhuman to turn this normal into a crit save. It's the same CP, but you don't have to roll the dice.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, so
Transhuman is.
you just automatically save one without needing to roll. Doesn't matter in this case, but you just spend a CP to save 3 wounds, and then you'll take 6 on your Blade Master.
Okay.
Cool. Lots of threats on the table right now. Let's see how it plays out.
So now I actually can activate my disruptor and move shoot your warrior here.
Yes, you could.
So let's do that. I think that's pretty safe to do.
Okay. I like that, yeah.
Flip to engage.
Do just make
Right?
sure... Yeah, just really make sure you have your Omni Scramble set up, though. Don't get yourself with a rough Omni Scramble here. Because you can't see through this bit of the wall. So I would probably not even move that much. I would try and stay where I was, because you had a line into me, right? So you're not too worried about it. Boom.
Just want to move a little bit close to the window, right? Just
Yeah.
within my control range. Oops.
Just make sure you're just fully within. You don't, because you're not shooting through this window. You're actually going to shoot like this. Is sort of your goal, right?
Oh, I
So,
see. I see. Okay. Okay.
so just really push yourself up against this window, and then you're like got a little bit of a lean that lets you peer through it and see my warrior. Boom.
Perfect. Okay.
And then you can go ahead and roll your shot.
Let's see. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, lethal. So, I can't shoot, right? I can't just shoot.
You cannot shoot. However, what you can do is you have a special issue ammunition left.
Right. I should just use that on this shot, I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
Just go lethal, I'm thinking.
You already have lethal, so
Or I'm sorry, just go the dev.
yeah, I think Dev's probably better than piercing one. That's one I'd actually just quickly. I like having a kill team calculator where you can just throw your numbers in real quick and
Oh,
check.
where would I find? Let's see, kill.
You can go ahead and find one at if you just look up kill team calculator, you can find one. I'll also DM you the one I use. Boom. This is the most commonly used one where you can just quickly run through numbers like this scenario, right? Very easily.
Okay, so attacker 4 attacks, BS 3 plus. Natural damage is 3, right?
Yep, you're 3-4 with lethal 5.
Okay.
And when you're running that math, it looks as if piercing 1 is slightly better than devastating 1 on this shot.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's something
I
you'll
see.
sort of get the hang of, but I think it's generally pretty chill to pull out a calculator and just quickly run it. Boom.
Yeah, it's like 0.2 better, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just do piercing. So that's 4 shots.
And then you do have accurate here if you want it.
Oh, that's right. We might as well just use the accurate.
Sweet.
And that's 2 crits and 2 hits.
Yep. So I need to roll a crit save and a normal save to live. Nope. So my warrior will go down.
Nice.
And remember to
That's
put
a
a dominate.
dominate.
Yep.
Mhm.
Then I'm going to go ahead and activate on a bow hunter. I'm going to flip to engage and take my fused shot into you. So 4 attacks on 3s, 4, 5, piercing 1.
Into the disruptor or
Into
the.
the disruptor, because
Okay.
you're on engage up there. Boom. Boom. Oh, I
Oh, I think you
gotta
threw
roll
him
my
on
dice.
roll.
Yeah, gotta roll my own dice. Boom. So that's 2
Ooh.
crits and a hit, not a bad roll, and that's piercing 1.
Okay.
Beautiful. So you'll take
Perfect.
5 damage. Your model is also incorrect. You should have 13 wounds on this model, not 14. Because they are Phobos.
Oh. Oh, how do we correct that?
Just take 1 extra damage, it's fine. And then you can, in here... I don't think that's in the scripting. Yeah. So, you took 5 damage, you're down to
To 7.
8 wounds. 8 wounds. Because
Oh, right.
13 minus 5 is... Boom.
Oh, sorry.
You're
I
good.
think we're both clicking on it at the same time.
Let's just bring it back to 8. There you go. And then I'm going to take my bow hunter, and they're going to go ahead and move inside. Yeah. And bow hunter's just going to move inside. Boom.
Okay, and now it's time for the head taker to take his
No.
shots.
That was your last counteract of the turn. So there will
Oh,
be
right.
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
No more counteracts. That's probably worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're fine with that being the end result of this. Boom. Priority. well, we do our scoring first. You score 1 crit op, I score 1 crit op, and then no tac op scored for me, no tac op scored for you.
No, I got 2 dominates.
You
Right?
can't score dominate turn 2, you have to wait till turn 3.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So, go ahead and roll off. This is 2.
I'll use my +3 here, right? To
Um,
tie?
yeah, I mean, the question is, how much do
Or
you
do I
care
just
about
reroll?
going first? I would definitely use your reroll first,
Yeah.
because, I mean, if you roll a 1, it really sucks, but it's, in the end, I actually don't think it's the end of the world if you roll a 1 here.
I'll use the reroll.
Okay, into another 2.
It's the same. Okay.
You love to see it. A classic. Yeah, so I actually, because if you use +3, you're up to 5, but you went first last turn, right? So they would win ties. So they will actually be going first here, which is a bit annoying for you, because you definitely were set up to have a very high chance of going first. So
Yes.
definitely not what you were hoping to see, but also probably not the end of the world for you. So you should go ahead and roll your smoke.
Sorry, roll my what?
Your smoke, to see how long it lasts this turn.
Oh, okay.
Nice. That's what you're hoping for. Is the big smoke.
So that's 3 activations? Is that
Yeah. So
or
it'll
two?
take. You'll be smoked for the first 2 of my activations, because I'm going first. And you also gain 2 CP for going second. I gain 1.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So strat poise.
I will be playing Prey. So if I'm shooting when I haven't done more than a dash, I gain Balanced and Severe, and if I already have Balanced, I gain Ceaseless.
Okay. I think I should still activate the long vigil.
I agree.
Thank
I'll go
you.
ahead and play Cutthroats again. Down to 3.
Safe to say that I want to scramble this stalker.
I think you're either scrambling the Stalker or the Sniper, depending. I would probably lean towards the Sniper here.
Oh, you would. Oh, because I can. Yeah, I guess the stalker is kind of threatened there.
Yeah, I mean, the Stalker can activate, charge you, fight you, but you don't really mind that too much. And I mean, he'll do a lot of damage to you, but again, you could just back off at that point. So, I think you're pretty happy. Your biggest threat right now is long sight shooting disruptor. So that's what I would be like pretty worried about, honestly.
So let's omni scramble this guy.
Yeah, that makes sense. So roll how
And
long? Oh, that's beautiful.
5.
Yep. Gives you a lot of time to make your plays. And then I'm going to call the kill on your head taker veteran, because we're going to try and finish him off.
Okay. I think I'm not worried about anything else here, so I'll pass.
I might consider playing mission tactics in this scenario. I think you're probably gonna at least once want it here, and so just playing it's pretty solid.
Oh, just to get balance, probably on an engaged model, you're thinking?
Yeah, I would just play it, get balanced and engaged.
Okay. Balance on engaged.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna begin. I'm gonna activate my Pistolier, and I'm gonna shoot your head taker veteran.
Rude.
So 4 attacks. Boom. Ceaseless and balanced. Okay, so crit into hits.
Reroll.
Yep.
So block a crit and a hit,
And then
and just
normal
take.
and take 3.
Is it worth transhumaning here?
It's a pretty good transhuman. If you transhuman here, you would take 0 damage.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good transhuman to use.
Yeah, I agree. Don't forget to use it from your sergeant if you haven't already for free.
Oh,
Would be the
right. Let's do
best
that. Yeah.
usage. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So transhuman here.
Beautiful. That's what you're hoping to see. Is a bit. So you may have lost initiative, but you got pretty lucky with this shot, and you're safe. And this side of the table is probably just 1 for you at this point. My Pistolier is going to go ahead and move 6 here to try and deny any disruptor killing of them. But that is their activation.
Okay, so I think it's time for the Horde Slayer to step out and just kill this stalker by
Um,
shooting at it.
yeah, I
What do you
think
think?
there's one other thing. I might consider doing my head taker first, because if
Goes
you
right into
don't,
the hound.
the hound will charge, fight, and probably kill you. But if you go with the head taker, you could go ahead and shoot, charge, fight, and get some pretty sick value out of it.
Oh, that does seem pretty good.
Or alternatively, you just shoot, run away, which is also pretty nice.
Well, we
I
can decide by just shooting first, so let's see what happens there.
Yeah.
Good call.
And the reason I would do that is just I think the threat on this model is like a pretty guaranteed kill, whereas the threat on anything else is a possible kill, right? And in the end, you want to play to get value out of your guaranteed kills before your possible ones. So,
Oh, and I also get to, since I activate him, I get to heal, right?
yep, you will get to heal D3.
D3. Let's do that.
A nice
So
2.
2.
And that uninjures you, which is huge.
Yeah. Oops. How do I up it
Yep.
there?
You right click. But you're at
Oh,
7.
right click.
Did you want a special issue ammunition this shot at all?
I think it's worth doing. I was just considering it, and just don't going piercing again, right?
His gun naturally has piercing, so you want to give his gun lethal.
Oh, lethal, right? Okay, let's do that. And 2 crits, a hit.
And what was your mission tactics?
Uh,
You chose
oh, it
engage,
was
right?
engaged. Yeah. So
Nice. Models on engage.
it's 3
Beautiful.
crits.
That's beautiful. Boom. So that's enough to kill.
Nice.
That's absolute, and that is probably you. I would say this right here, going the way it has probably just secured you this game. Unless you make some silly mistakes and lose some major models, you are pretty much guaranteed to win from this position if you play it slow and steady. So,
Cool.
okay.
I love that. So next up is the charge, and then the fight.
Yeah. You can also choose if you want to also just run away here, but it's up to you. I think both of them
Um,
have good arguments.
what about? Wait, can I do this? Can I charge and then tap?
You could charge tap in melee range, but I probably wouldn't go for that because your goal is to avoid the dog fighting you, right?
Okay, so I just want to kill the dog here and then just sit out
Yeah,
here and
I would just be at this point looking to say, I'm just looking to trade this guy for as much value as possible. And in this case, if you're looking to trade him for a kill on the dog and then deny this point for a turn, right? So just push him in, get another kill, and say, I'm probably going to lose the head taker, but I'm going to get so much value off this side that you're going to have to commit additional resources to stop me.
okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
So
So you charge your head taker in
charge him in and 5 attacks.
on threes. Cool. I could have spent the CP to fight first here. Yeah, I will. Sorry, I will have spent the CP to fight first here because I'm within cover.
Sure.
So 4 attacks hitting on brace. I should have spent this before I rolled. I'm just
No worries.
thinking about it. Boom. Okay, so I do have a balance versus this model. Cool. Cool. And I'll go ahead and hit you for 3 damage.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. And then you're a Deathwatch model, so you're the head taker. So you get to resolve 2 dice into me.
So just 2 crits.
Or a crit and a hit. You don't know lethal 5, but yeah. Pow. Crit and a hit is enough to kill a hound. Hound will go down.
It's another dominate, right?
Gives you another dominate. You're probably not scoring that dominate, but it's still not bad.
Yeah. You never know. Okay, that's him.
Cool. I do think I'm going to need to activate my stalker here. So my stalker here is going to do retrieval on the point. And then do we charge your watch sergeant and hope for some negative damage? I think we need to at this point. Stalker will hit for a solid amount of damage, and then you probably don't want to kill it. So I'm gonna go ahead and activate the stalker. The other option would just run away and try and score, which is a pain. That there's a head taker over here. This means we're not scoring this point this turn. So we'll probably, yeah, we're gonna have to commit to the aggression here. I'm gonna go 1 and 4 into you. He can charge on conceal, and then he's gonna do his stealth attack. So he spends 2 AP. He performs a charge that has no bonuses. And then he will fight, and then I will strike and then strike again. So we'll see how this goes. He is 3/5 melee. Rolling hits. Boom. And he's balanced. And rending. So pretty good roll.
So I do my 5 attacks.
Yep. That is rough for sure. Not what you were hoping for, but you'll still be able to parry your way out.
Yeah, lethal 5 up, so 1 crit, 1 regular.
He has currently a crit and a hit.
Alright, did you pay for prey? Fruits?
What's
Sorry?
that?
Didn't you pay for cutthroats?
Oh yeah, I should have had 1 more dice here. That is totally correct. Boom. Oh, that's brutal. Still not enough to kill you, though.
Question, if
Oh,
you
wait,
don't
no,
mind me
no.
picking your brain.
No, sorry, the Stalker's base... Did he get buffed to base 4 attacks? Let me double check that. His model says 3. Yeah, he's up to base 4. Cool. Whew, that is a very good roll on my part, is triple crit. But you're not dying. Yeah, would you say, Mad Martin? Feel free in.
Any reason you didn't use piercing shot on the head hunter at the first activation?
Probably just me forgetting it. It would never have killed the headhunter, but if I
I was
used it
just
with the rolls.
wondering if
Yeah.
you had like a different thought process. Sorry, go
No,
ahead.
no, I'm just not super experienced with Kroot, so I definitely wasn't thinking about it. I used it the first time and then just whiffed on it, forgot about it. Again, would not have changed this result. He would have been here on 1 wound instead of on 4, but yeah. I guess it would have made his shooting into me injured. I don't know if that changes it, though. I'm pretty sure he rolled 3 5s and 6s, so... I mean, we could say it happened, but at this point, we're just gonna
Sure,
move on.
we can say that. I'd be at 1 wound.
Yeah, with how that's been, you would be at 1 wound right now.
Yeah, let's just say that's what happened.
Would the dog have killed him then?
No, because the dog only hit for 3. If the dog had rolled a crit, he might have killed him. So it might have been worth knowing that for you to not have engaged and just moved away. But again, that's going pretty far back, and the dice.
No,
You made the play that was optimal based upon the situation. I'm just going to leave you at 4. Again, I'll keep the piercing in my pocket to use this turn. But
Okay.
cool. So we're resolving this fight right now. Did you want to spend any CP on rerolls or anything like that?
I think it is worth spending a CP on a reroll here.
Yeah. So as it currently stands, you're living this fight on 1 wound. 2 wounds. 2 wounds? Yeah, you live this fight on 2 wounds. Right? And you will do 4 damage in response. So it might be good. If you roll 1 more hit, you would kill in response if I don't parry at all. So
I think I have to do that,
cool. Okay.
and I don't.
I would not spend more CP here. That would just be pouring good money after bad. I would just do your best to parry your way through. The nice thing is I don't have fights first here, so because you live this, you're just gonna fight me and then run away, is what you should do here. But
So essentially, just parry one of your crits.
yep,
And
I will begin, and I will resolve 2 crits into you for 10 damage. 7, 8, 9, 10.
and then just parry one of your crits and parry one of your hits.
So you don't double parry, but you'll parry one of my hits. I will then hit you with this last dice for 3 more.
Oh, right. Okay.
3
Then I'll just hit you for 1
for 4 damage.
regular hit for 4 damage. Yeah.
Cool. Boom. Yeah, so as you can see, the model does hit hard, but
Yeah. Okay, so back to me.
mm-hmm.
Uh, do I have a charge into the cut skin or the hound? I don't think so with the Blade Master.
No, because of the door.
I have a dash charge fight, but I won't be hitting the point, right?
Correct. The other thing you could do is you could move dash shoot if you wanted. Now this is a position I'm actually looking at, and this this crit off does give you this is a 1 more crit off, right? And when looking at this position right now, I would have to give this guy my APL in order for him to actually tap this point. So it might actually be worth it for you to just abandon this point for kills, and then say you're going to control this point, the midpoint, instead. And then if I don't commit hard to controlling my home point, you'll score more with just 1, if that makes sense. Boom. It does put you in range of like hound combats and stuff, but it's up to you. I actually do think my hound here would have had 1 extra dice, but it wouldn't. It would have been a 6 to matter. We'll find out. It might, yeah, it would have been. Okay, well, definitely would have mattered in that case, but it is life. We're moving past it. Clearly not an optimally piloted Kroot team, but again, the goal is not to have you fight an optimally piloted Kroot team. It's to just show you some Deathwatch ideas
Sure.
that you can then use in later games.
Yeah, this is super helpful. Man, this it's got me scratching my head a little bit. I think. So you think abandon this point and move towards the center point?
No, I think abandon this point to commit into the cutskin. Just move dash shoot me, and then from that.
Do I even need to dash? Wouldn't a reposition be enough to just shoot you and then
No,
have the option of shooting?
I guess maybe you could break my cover line. Or I think you probably could break my cover line. Yeah, move dash shoot, or just move shoot. Actually, you just have to be worried about this Duragite Skinner though, so I probably wouldn't be looking for that play. Yeah, so I might. It's an interesting position for sure. What would I be doing in this position? Let's look at it. So I got all my shooting threats inside the stronghold right now, like this super heavy shooting castle, and then I got a melee threat here who's not really in range to get into you because outside of charge range here. Am I threatening a Digibite's gonna move 5, shoot you? No, I'm not. Probably should be, but that would require me. No, no, I couldn't because of how the activation order went. Um, Let me check one thing. You have 3, so that's 4 inches right there. You got 4 more. Ooh, you have that. It's really good.
Is there a world where he face sweeps?
I'm looking at this as a possible charge, but it looks like it's slightly too long. Yeah. Okay. So your Blade Master's not actually under a ton of pressure right now, so I don't think you need to activate them. I might just take the smoke is gone by the way. I might just take the chill play of activate Watch Sergeant, smack my Stalker, and run away.
Run away.
It's kind of like you're looking to stall at least one more activation because you still have 2 before the long sight gets a shot off. So when the long sight's about to shoot, you have to activate your disruptor. But before then, you're just looking to kind of stall, I think. So I would go with the Watch Sergeant.
Oh, sure. Just clean up, run away. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So 5 attacks.
Can you roll a hit? That's a hit. You smack my Stalker to death. Boom. A reminder, you can only do that because I used my fights first already. You gotta remember that one. Boom.
Because you used your what?
I have
Your
a
fight
fight.
first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If I hadn't used my fight first, you don't want to make that play. But because I did, you are happy to.
Oh, I also heal here.
Yes. You heal once you kill me, though. It's an important distinction. For 2. Oh, this model is stunned. I did shoot them with the stun gun. But you'll be able to. You can remove the stun on your activation instead of healing if you want.
So
Yeah, I would just dash and then reposition. To be on this corner. Remember your movement is slowed, so you're going to have to measure slightly better than that. You're going to have to dash along the wall. Like, dash to be at the wall. Boom.
I see.
Boom. And then reposition 2 inches. Oh, and get there. Boom. You might have to say more. But again,
And movement is slowed because
you're injured.
you're injured. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So,
Okay.
and as you see there, honestly, this play right here took a major threat. I charged you, didn't get the kill, and you ran away. So this was totally positive for you. These are plays that are like actually really good for Deathwatch. Even though I like traded 1/12 of my team for significantly more than uh, 1/12 of your HP, I traded a threat for a not a kill, which does not feel good when you're on the Deathwatch side. Yeah, I will activate my tracker. My tracker is going to reposition here, and then go ahead and give my kill broker +1 APL. I'll just confirm the tracker's not visibility. I'm pretty sure it's within 6. Yeah, perfect.
So now I want to activate my disruptor, right? And flip the conceal.
Yeah, because now I'm threatening the snipe into you, and you just don't want to give me a free snipe into you.
I think he'll just stay there and
Cool.
do nothing and just heal.
Makes sense. I'm going to activate my kill broker, and I'm going to go ahead and charge you.
Heal 3.
And then I will fight your veteran over there. So 4 attacks, hitting on 5 attacks on 3s. Boom, cutthroats. Yep, and I will go ahead and just hit you with my first crit to kill you.
Okay.
And when I do that, I get to pick a new call to kill target. It's going to be your Horde Slayer. No, it's going to be your Blade Master. And then I will also Victory Screech himself. I think you can do that. I don't know. I don't play Kroot. Does it choose another? Nope, it's just choose a friendly. So he'll go ahead and choose himself. We'll call to kill. No, not call to kill. Victory Screech. And then he'll spend his last APL to activate this point. I also have a retrieval marker showing everything. Go ahead.
So I think now the Horde Slayer needs to move into the middle and stop you from trying to steal this point. So he can just
Yeah.
move in, activate, and just stand there menacingly.
Yeah, I might throw a smoke at myself, but
Oh, you could smoke. I've used
no, I actually wouldn't smoke there. But you used one of your two smokes because you didn't use one over here.
oh
But
right, okay.
my shooting threats is just this guy, so you're not too worried about it. I don't think you smoke. I think you just move up and chill.
Cool. Oh, and actually, I can just hit the point for free, right? Or actually, no, I can save that for the Blade Master. I can hit
Yep.
the point for free, and then charge, fight, shoot, maybe even,
Yeah,
possibly.
do something spicy.
So
Just
the
remember to keep your operative wholly on your side of the table for your little reroll.
oh yes.
So right there. It's very small, but the every roll counts.
True.
Well, you're not really able to activate your Blade Master here unless I give it to you. So we're gonna go ahead and just move the cut skin up to here. No, if I do that, you charge me. Do I go fight you with my hand? Yeah, I think I can fight you with my hand. Yeah, we could. But we're not likely to kill you because you're at 9 wounds right now, so... Looking to trade for your Blade Master. I'm gonna activate my Bow Hunter and move up here and pass.
Um, so now I'll tap this point,
Cool.
and I think it's worth doing this charge into this cutskin.
You don't have the charge there. You don't have the range on your charge. Because you're
Oh, I
-1.
don't. Okay,
Wait, do
so
you?
this will be a free.
Do you? So, no. Because you ended up
No.
with an 8. Yeah, 8.4.
So it would just be a free mission action and then a
Cool.
reposition shoot, maybe?
Yeah, the worry is, of course, you're setting yourself up to get flamered here. But at this point, you're either getting flamered here or here. So I don't. The problem is the flamer is actually like very likely to kill your Blade Master, where it's not that likely to kill your Gravis. I might just play super conservatively here and back up.
Would just tap and back up.
Yeah, because I mean this model's threatening 7-inch range. If you just move here, you're like not worried at all. Again, you're in a good position. Just you can play pretty chill here, because once you score your 3 dominate points this turn, you're feeling great. So
That's true. He is holding a dominate token, so I
yeah,
might as well just keep him safe.
exactly. Don't lose that dominate.
to just
So
go here.
I would actually, yeah, I would just move to be like this, and then just accept that you're -1 APL this turn. You don't even have to use your your skull if you want, but and remember, don't forget your healing.
Right. Heal. Just one.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay.
Back to you.
Now that you're activated, I'm going to move my cut skin up to the store to threaten the charge.
Now I'm on to my counteracts.
Yep. Don't really have.
Of which I have none, so I'll pass.
Cool. I'll activate my long sight and pass.
How many more activations you got?
I have one activation left. Two activations left. So you'll have two counteracts.
I guess I'll move the watch sergeant a little closer to the door.
I like it. I'm going to activate the hound. He's going to move 1, 7, and he's going to run to here.
And now it's probably safe to maybe move up the Blade Master 2 inches towards the door, so that next turn.
Yeah, just make sure you're not getting shot by this model. This is the model you got to avoid, which is threatening 5 plus 2. So 7 inches. They have a 7-inch cover break right now.
If I stay an inch away from the window, I'm okay, right?
No, because if they get within an inch of the window, they can shoot you.
Oh, okay,
So
gotcha.
you just got to make sure you're outside that range right there, because that's the range at which they break your cover save. Right, is 7. So as long as you're not within that blue bubble, you're not getting shot.
Maybe just go like this.
Cool. Yeah. I might make your cover line a little. I don't think I'd move quite that far. I think you just want to keep a nice cover line here, right? And just you're not too worried about this game position. This position is like pretty massively favorable to you right now. There's a good chance I shouldn't have pushed these up looking at it, but with me having done that, you're looking at like a charge, fight, shoot here for some double kills. Like you are in a pretty dominant position at this point. If I hadn't played so aggressive here, you'd be in a slightly less one, but really not that. You just have charges into other things. Is the problem? Cool. Well, on to that was your last counteract, right? So last activation, we're going to go ahead and move the gunner out. Again, is this optimal? Probably not. It's probably better to just not even take the shot here, but I'm pretty far behind, and so I have to start taking some risky plays to get some value. I'm going to go ahead and heavy gunner you. 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, 3-3. Alternatively, we could grab the retrieval token, but not really needed. Cool, so just 5 attacks. Hitting on 3s, hit on 2s. We don't have balance versus you? No. What did I give myself balance again? No, I did give myself call against your Horde Slayer. So I do have a reroll. Boom. Brilliant. And that's piercing 2, so you're only rolling 1 save. Boom. You do have a free reroll.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Wow.
So that will deal 3 times 4 damage. So 12 damage to you. Yeah.
Sweet.
Big money shots. But will it be big enough? The answer is probably not. Oh, we'll get another kill before the end. Nice. Okay. That is the end of the turn.
Cool. So I score my dominate tokens, of which I have 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you got 3. So. for a nice triple dominate.
Do you know how you remove these? Oh, you already did. Okay.
Yeah, it's right clicking to remove. And then it literally doesn't matter what is rolled here because you have +6. So, holy cow! I rolled a 1. Holy cow! You rolled a 1. If only you had +6 to that roll, so you got a 7. Roll.
Okay. So I'll take initiative here.
Yep.
And it seems like the time of reckoning has come.
Mm-hmm.
So I gained 1 CP. You gain 2.
Yep.
We go to the strat phase. I will use. I should probably use mission tactics, right?
Yeah. 100%. I think you would spend a CP on a. Anytime you're looking at it and you're like, if this dice would go badly, I would spend a CP on it. I would probably lean towards doing mission tactics. Mission tactics is one of those better safe than sorries. If you know you're like if first activation you're taking a shot, I would just play mission tactics to buff that shot a lot of the time. The real question is, do you want mission tactics engage or conceal here?
I think it's got to be engage, right?
Interesting. I think you should probably be on conceal here.
How am I going to deal? It's just going to be my charges into your concealed guys, or oh, if you're chatting, I can't hear you.
No, sorry.
Oh, I see. I see what you mean. Yeah, because I'm going to be charging into a concealed model and then shooting into a.
You charge, fight,
model.
shoot, and that right there is a massively powerful play that'll just win you the game. And I definitely set you up for that, but there's not really much I could have done there without giving you some other sort of value. It's just very hard to stage. So I would be on. I would slam mission tactics conceal.
Conceal, yeah.
I'm gonna play. Did not use prey at all that turn, which is great. But I'll play cutthroats again for +1 attack and melee.
I should almost certainly play. They shall know no fear, right?
Maybe. Do you have a clear plan for the sergeant and a clear plan for the horde slayer? I guess is the question.
The horde slayer can shoot the heavy gunner. Half.
I strongly suspect you just don't want to flip your horde slayer to engage this turn.
Oh, just keep it. Do you mean like just charge and then just stay concealed?
No. I'm looking at this position, and I think you have this very solidly cleaned up as a game. I think what you're going to want to do here is you want to omni-scramble the heavy gunner. Heavy gunner is not activating first. You're going to go ahead, make this play first activation, get a nice double kill. Now, I'm left with this remaining on the table. I can't activate my heavy gunner, so I'll probably push my kill broker up and maybe... No, my kill broker is going to tap the point, do a retrieval. Your horde slayer will just... you'll activate your disruptor, you'll shoot me, you'll run away, and then you'll just pass here, and maybe I run onto this point and steal it from you, but in the end it won't change the result. You'll just have too many kills.
So then we know we're going to omni-scramble the heavy gunner, so
I think you 100% omni-scramble the heavy gunner. Boom.
For 5.
Cool. big Omni Scramble as well. That's the number you're looking for, but the 5 Omni Scramble is so rough. Yeah, I don't think I have. Maybe we play Prey here. I will play Prey just in case. We'll see if it matters.
Okay. Sergeant is still alive. We've used the Sergeant both for the strat and the firefight already. So,
Yep. No free ploys from him. Yeah, I kind of think you just save your CP at this point.
Yeah, because then I can do a tactical reroll and then a firefight.
Did you want to play Long Vigil?
I was thinking about that just now, but I only have 2 models that I would. Well, actually, no. I have the Horde Slayer too.
Mm-hmm.
Can maybe that's worth. Maybe that's worth.
Yeah, I don't think your Horde Slayer is getting shot more than 1 time this turn, so I would probably skip it. I would probably, because if you're only getting shot 1 time, it's not worth. You can just save the CP and use it as a CP reroll instead.
Maybe save the CP and have a CP reroll and a
Or-
transhuman.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So
then
pass.
I will pass back.
Okay. So onto the firefight phase.
Yep.
So first thing, we'll activate this feller.
Oh, sorry. One last thing. I'm gonna call the kill on your Horde Slayer before we.
Oh yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
Cool.
We'll activate this feller. Roller D3. Heal 3. Oops. Heal move. Oh no, he'll charge. Sorry.
Yep. So engage.
Charge right like this.
You want to use your full charge movement. Movement matters a lot, so you move 6, and then you get 2 more. Yep. Because that's how you break my cover line here. You gotta break that line. Right. Boom. Beautiful.
Fight the Hound.
Cool. Something you want to do before you fight me? Before you roll your dice.
Oh, so the digital weapons?
Exactly. Yep. So you're gonna bonk me down to. Hello, Hound? Are you immortal now? Okay, there you go.
To 6.
Down to 6.
And then I roll my dice.
Yep.
5. 5 dice.
I think I'm gonna resolve my dice first here.
Okay.
Try and live. Cool. Yeah, so we have the first hit, but you got the double crit.
And I also get my balance reroll?
Yep. And now, I'm fight first. Before I fight first, you have a pre-parry. So you should pre-parry out my crit.
Yep.
To take minimal damage. Blonk. And then I'll slap you for 3.
And then I'll hit you with my crit.
And I will go down.
Perfect.
I guess I have rending. I did have rending there, so that I would have 2 crits. So actually, in that case, you can't pre-parry me, because then I can parry you out and not die. Sorry about that. I've Kroot gameplay. So, you just don't parry me, and you just let me hit you for 4, and then hit me back. 4. So you take 1 extra damage there. Boom. And then you slap my hound to death.
Cool. And then we shoot your cut skin.
Cool. Something you want to do here?
Special issue ammunition, I think for
Absolutely.
sure. Just to make
Absolutely.
sure lethal 5 up seems like the right one.
Yep.
Okay. Oops.
Oh, dude,
Oh yeah.
these shots have been so fire.
Oh yeah.
Piercing
Love to
one.
see it.
Boom. Yeah, every time you take the shot, I'm like, oh, if you miss, I'll remind you about your relentless ploy versus me, right? You have a ploy that lets you reroll all your failed attack dice, and then you just slam shots like this, and I'm like, you don't need that. Yeah, he's dead as hell.
Yeah.
Obliterated.
So that's 2 dominate tokens on that
That's
guy
two
as well.
dominate tokens on that guy. Yep. Well, this is a pain of a situation, but I'm going to activate my tracker, and I'm going to give the bow hunter +1 APL. And then the tracker will just move up to the wall. Boom. Your activation.
Probably just take out the heavy gunner now with the Horde Slayer, right?
I would actually do it with
Oh, the disruptor, and then fall back.
the other spicy option you could do is you could watch Sergeant, reposition, take a shot, and then dash back.
Ooh, yeah, that is probably better, isn't it? Because he's safe no matter what. Okay. And I do have a special issue if I need to use it, but probably don't need to with a plasma pistol.
Well, you can't overcharge. You do not want to overcharge your plasma pistol unless you get a good heal here.
Okay, so let's activate him.
Cool.
See what he heals.
Beautiful.
3.
Utterly gorgeous. So yeah, now you can overcharge it without the threat of dying, because it's maximum 6 damage to you.
Perfect. So he will dash.
I believe you're gonna. I don't believe you can. Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you got the movement to dash through. Okay, so dash through.
Dash through. Shoot.
Awesome.
Overcharge it.
Yep, because you don't have to worry about it. So 4 attacks, hitting on 4s because you're injured. Did you want to choose special issue ammunition here?
Yes. Probably no, piercing, right?
You have piercing and lethal 5, so it's not super needed.
Maybe I don't need to use the special issue then.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 crits.
2 crits and a hit. Piercing 1. Looking for saves. Firm. No saves. Bada boom.
Great. Gives him a dominate.
Beautiful.
And then he'll reposition back.
Yep. And now you've kept your dominate safe. Still got lots of threats. I'm going to activate the kill broker. He's going to activate this point and then pass and do retrieval on this point.
Okay, so just tap with the Horde Slayer and sit still, heal up a little bit.
Yeah, I'd smoke yourself as well, just in case. But
oh, that's right, I still have the smoke.
Perfect. Yeah, no reason not to just use the smoke. I guess the one reason might be you would save it here, but if you get to this model, you'll just swap orders and dash into conceal. So, and don't forget your D3 heal.
Yep. Love it.
Sweet. I'm going to activate my bow hunter. My bow hunter is going to move here. Actually, wait, I have to wait on this, don't I? Yeah. I'll activate my long sight. My long sight does not have visibility of your model. They will instead challenge pass. Doesn't do anything. Don't have meat. Could move up. Do that. That gives you another kill. Yeah, they'll just pass. There's nothing for them to do. It doesn't give you a kill back.
So onto my counteract?
Nope, you got your disruptor left.
Oh, my disruptor, right. Nothing for him to do, so he'll just flip to conceal and
Heal.
or he was already flipped to conceal, and
Yeah.
he'll just burn.
Cool. And then I'll go ahead and last activation, move here and take a shot into your lad over there. So 4 attacks hitting on 3s. I'm pretty sure I could make this with just a dash. But I don't know. Yeah, so we just dash. And then 4 attacks hitting on 3s. Piercing 1, lethal 5. So that's 2 crits, 2 hits, piercing 1.
Okay.
Oof.
Is it worth transhumaning here and then doing a reroll?
You don't have a save, so you can't transhuman on nothing. But it's totally worth spending your CP because this is the last play of the game. Nothing else is happening after this. So that's 1 save. If you roll this dice and it's a save, you're not dead.
Wait, how am I re-rolling this dice?
So you CP reroll them. You just spend you have 2 CP left. You CP reroll 1, and then you CP reroll the other.
Oh, I can CP reroll twice in a row?
Yep, you can CP reroll as much as you want.
Oh, okay. Yeah, might as well then.
Yep. Unfortunate. So your Blade Master will go down before the end of the game.
Yeah, 2 dominate tokens too. Shame.
Yeah, it is a bit unfortunate. But, so you'll score 1 from this model for attack op. Yep. You have 4. And then we will both score 1 for crit op.
Quick clarification: you can't CP reroll the same dice, right?
Correct. Yeah, he didn't CP. He rolled 2 and re-rolled each one separately.
Yeah. Right.
And then kill op. I've killed 2 of your models.
And I've killed... How many?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4 models left, which means you've killed 8. So of 12, you've killed 8, which is kill grade 3. 1, 2, 3, and then you tick up to 4. And then you reveal your primary. You're on attack op. I did score 3 attack op points here. So you would take a 12-9 victory. Not bad.
Not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I see kind of how you would play that. That's really helpful to see the how you can really take advantage of their counteracts and their durability. And...
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully you're leaving this with some more understanding of how like the combination of Omni Scramble, hide and melee, and things like that can allow you to really pressure midboard, while your super powerful side operatives can just shred their way through sides of the table.
Yeah, Omni Scramble's so good.
Omni Scramble is the best rule in the game. It is like incredibly powerful. Super broken, but super sick as well.
Hey man, I love it, dude. Thanks for taking the time to walk me through and kind of show
Yeah,
me
absolutely. I mean,
show me the angles, show me the ropes.
yeah, typically I'd spend some time discussing at the end of the game, like any thoughts on what could have been done better. Like at the end of this game, what was the play you think you made that you could have made better? Anything in particular stand out, or you felt like you're pretty solid?
I felt like it was pretty solid, man.
Yeah,
I think we looked through each of the possibilities, and
yeah, I agree. I
we
think you
really, yeah, made
really
like the right
calculated it.
decisions mostly. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think like you made some. I think this play was pretty sick. Because I don't know if you were super aware of it, but if I hadn't charged you here, I think the correct thing for you to do is activate and charge both of my gunners inside the building, or you charge my gunner and then hatchway fight my other model, and you're like pretty likely just to kill them both, and that's just game-endingly powerful. So you force out activations here. But yeah,
Yeah, I saw that counteract. It seemed like the right counteract to do
it,
for,
definitely.
what
That
was remaining. And
that is exactly how you want to be playing Deathwatch. Is those micro advantages you get from those counteracts, building you threats that are incredibly scary for your opponent and force them into positions they don't like. I don't want to take this charge fight because I'm just like don't kill you very much. But if I don't take it, you threaten even more damage into me. So it's like a lose-lose situation, and then you can just slowly build up those advantages.
losing 2 models,
Yeah, I mean that's what you're kind
not
of
too
aiming to
bad.
do.
Yeah.
I think generally your goal is to get kill grade throughout all of Kill Team. Your goal is to get kill grade 3 while not giving your opponent kill grade 3. That's like a rule of thumb for most games is one player will hit kill grade 3 and one player won't, and the player who hits kill grade 3 will often win the game. So your goal
Interesting.
is to not lose 3 Deathwatch, because once you lose 3 Deathwatch, it's really hard. But you can kind of see that like even losing 2 Deathwatch, you don't have the models to control this point anymore, right? So you kind of fell off there. But you got enough ahead that it was fine. And then of course this game would have been much less close if you had actually survived this shot here. You would have absolutely dominated even more so, because that would have been 2 more tac op and a primary and a kill grade for a 15-8 win, right? So this was a little bit unlucky, but you also had some very good shooting this game, so it's not like it was super unlucky. But yeah,
Yeah, the dice seemed okay for
yeah,
the
dice
most
went
part.
up, dice went down. The gods giveth, and they taketh away.
Hey, Lunar.
Yeah, what's up?
This is
It,
my
it,
good friend, by the way. This is Lunar. This is my friend who I play against. He plays Kroot as well, so he joined
Oh,
in
hell yeah.
and watched us play this out. So it's
hey,
helpful for him, for sure.
Yeah, I've played him a bunch.
in, in in your opinion, why do you think Deathwatch is rated so low on like community tier lists?
I think it's very much the they got nerfed effect. And so it's like I I guess here's what I'd say. I think Deathwatch were always overrated as a team. I think like when they were in S, people were putting them in the S tier. I think they were actually like mid A tier.
Overrated.
I
Yeah.
think they were mid A tier, but you have to if you don't know how to play against Deathwatch, you'll just get overrun by them. They're a very noob stomp team. Like if you don't know how to beat them, you'll get overrun. And then I think the nerfs took them from like A tier to like top of B tier, right? I think they're like the best. I would put them somewhere top of B tier. Um, but to the audience, I think they went from being an S tier team to being like a B tier team, and so they're like, oh god. Or I know some people put them even lower than B tier. I don't think they're actually that bad. I think they're a totally fine team that is still very powerful, if a bit clunkier to play. Again, I actually think the nerfs were pretty small. I think if you look at my list, I think they moved them from mid A tier to top of B tier. So I think it was like pretty small nerfs, but it the nerfs made the difference in a lot of matchups where it went from them being like I think they were being very overrated to now they're being slightly underrated, but that was a pretty big leap. When in reality, I think it was just people actually adjusting to where Deathwatch really were before, and then moving it slightly down. So I think Deathwatch are like I don't think they're a top tier team, right? Like I think if you were going to compete, you would play AOD, or you would play Phobos, or you would play a different Marine team, particularly AOD. I think AOD kind of stands that plays similarly with very similar play patterns, but is generally stronger. However, I think Deathwatch is more interesting and more skill expressive. So that's why I would lean Deathwatch.
Is
But
is it the one extra man with AOD that does it?
it's the one extra man. It's the dice reliability is what makes AOD the stronger than Deathwatch. Deathwatch has a weak balanced ploy, whereas AOD has a much stronger balanced ploy that you can. It's just less situational, right? Um,
Hmm.
and especially when you're running the captain and can swap it once per turn. You have extra bodies, and the important thing about those extra bodies is it actually changes your kill grade. You can losing 3 Marines and still not getting kill grade 3 is incredibly powerful. So I think that really helps them because it basically means they can lose one more Marine than Deathwatch without hitting the kill grade. Because you have to kill 4 Marines. You go from having to kill 3 Marines to killing 4 Marines. It's actually a massive jump. And then they also have the combination of purity seals and
Already, so they're harder to kill.
they're harder to kill, and then they have shields to prevent like melee skew lists smashing them. Tilting shields. Tilting shields are so broken. Um, yeah, and then with Hardy, they're also like arguably as resilient as Deathwatch against individual attacks, although they are definitely stronger, weaker against this. They have no healing. But in general, they just have more AP and more wounds. Um, but yeah, I think that AOD are definitely the stronger team in an abstract. But again, they don't have Omni Scramble, and if you don't have Omni Scramble, what are you even doing? Like again, I think Deathwatch are like a weaker team than AOD, but you can in the direct matchup. I actually don't even mind it that much. I think like you can use Omni Scramble is just really powerful, and it can get you a lot of wins that other teams cannot.
You get the plasma gunner.
Yeah, Plasma Gunner is really strong. Plasma Gunner is matchup defining versus elites. Plasma Gunner plus Omni Scramble makes Deathwatch really good into elites.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, it again. I think Deathwatch are actually. I don't know. I don't think I favor them into AOD, but I do favor them into a lot of elites. Even though they're down one body, um, just because the combination of Omni Scramble plus gun is very good.
How do you feel about that dominate change now? Like, is it just a little bit harder for us because we, against teams that can take dominate against
Um,
us?
Here's the thing. I think a lot of the time it's actually a trap, specifically versus the 5-man teams, right? I think it's often a trap. Like it's like uh, it sucks. It's really bad against Kazarkin, right? Like if you're up against Kazarkin specifically, it's rough for sure. But I don't think it's particular. Like if I'm playing AOD, I don't think I really want it to be on. I'd probably play Dominate, but I'm not happy about it. Like I'd rather be on Banner versus you, if that makes sense. Just like I don't know. I think your goal as Deathwatch is already not to lose 3 models. Like if you lose 3 models, you're
Right.
kind of losing the game. And
So
so
that's 6 points. Six
ex-
points on dominate.
if you lose 3 models, I kind of feel like you're already losing the game. So if your opponent
Yeah.
maxes tack op, they max tack op in games you would already lose. Whereas I think if they kill 2 models and score 4 tack op, that just doesn't seem. Again, it's a lot better than it was before, because before you just couldn't take it versus them. Like, it's a real tack op, but I don't think it's, like, a massive nerf.
What would you say is the Achilles heel for Deathwatch?
Oh, dice reliability, 100%. The Achilles heel is you're a team that has a lot of attacks, but you don't have... Like, if you had purity seals, the team would be much better. The fact that you have, at best, balanced, and then your relentless play is only versus certain teams just means a lot of the time you will have a dice fuck up at some point in the game where your dice don't work out, and it will cost you the game. And this won't happen every game, right? Like again, I actually think Deathwatch are just fine in singular games, but the problem is if you're looking to win a 5-round tournament, one of those 5 games your dice will mess up, and you will lose a model, and you will be unable to win that game. And from that point, you just suffer a lot more than other elites when your dice go poorly. So, I think the team could use definitely use some help, but I think they're fine. Like I don't think they're a bad team by any means. Omni Scramble carries them. It's just too strong to. Omni Scramble is like oppressively strong, and then the rest of the team is kind of propped up by Omni Scramble at this point. But it doesn't mean they're not good. They're just not absolute menaces.
Do you have much experience with Jaegers?
I played a bunch of Jaegers last edition. I played the first Jaegers game, like the before Jaegers were leaked, and I was already played a game with them. Jaegers, I don't know if they were leaked or they got spoiled, but I was the minute they were available to play, I had a game with them within 5 minutes of the rules being online.
They're pretty
So
awesome.
I really like Jaegers. I don't think they're good enough right now. I think they needed some help.
Yeah,
But
they need that CP like
yeah, if they got
spend 2 resource points, get 1 CP or something like that.
if they had extra CP, the team would be awesome. The problem is they're just too CP hungry for what they need.
Like you'd still definitely run Deathwatch instead of Jaegers in like a 5-round tournament.
Yeah, probably. But again, I think I would always at this point in my kill team career, if I'm given the option between playing an elite team and not playing an elite team, I'll pick the elite team. Just because I'm confident I'm one of the best elite players, and then I'm like a good horde team player, right? Like I don't know. I'm not a top tier player at non-elite teams, but I am at that level on elites specifically, right? So I'm a specialist on elites more than almost more than most other people, right?
What's your other favorite elite team right now, aside from
Oh,
Deathwatch?
I mean, my heart team is Phobos, right? They're class declassified right now, so you can only play them
Yeah,
in some events. But
it's a
they're
shame.
the
I'd love to play Phobos.
they're the most powerful team in the game right now, and they feel fucking awesome to play. They are the best team in the game. They're the most fun team in the game. They're the best designed team in the game. Holy, Phobos are beautiful.
Oh, shame that they're out.
It is an absolute shame they are out. And then I also am on Raveners as the other 5-man team.
Nice.
So we're very different.
Where do you play out of? Which area do you play out of?
I play almost exclusively on TTS. I do technically have a local scene, but it is not a good local scene, and I am in college and so don't travel much.
Gotcha.